to do so, I do believe we do have a chance.
One last question before you go. Do you think that your coach, Michel Bergeron, is going to go with Dan Bouchard the entire series, or will use John Garrett?
Well, I guess the way Dan Bouchard has been playing, he has to go along with Dan Bouchard unless something happens. But I'm sure Dan Bouchard will see most of the action, or just about everyone of it.
Thanks very much, Maurice Fillion. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just a moment.
Long Island Trust presents a Long Island portrait. No other bank knows Long Island like Long Island Trust, member FDIC.
Remember me? I led our troops to victory. Gave them a sense of security. Everybody needs security, even an old battle horse like me. So I got myself this hillside betting security blanket. It guarantees in writing the lowest possible price. And get this, Hillside will replace any purchase in 30 days if you're not completely satisfied. Want to win the battle against inflation? Go to Hillside Betting. It's the best security you can get. Sleep on that.
Sealcrest Betting Collection by Sealy, makers of the famous Posturepedic, available at these Hillside Betting Centers.
The Radio Television News Directors Association has picked WCBS as the best radio news station in America. It's their equivalent of a Tony, an Emmy, an Oscar. This award says that you get the best at WCBS Radio. News professionals who keep you on top of the news all day, every day. WCBS News Radio, 88 on your AM dial. The best in the business.
From the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, SportsChannel presents the Stanley Cup Playoffs, the Wales Conference Championship between the New York Islanders and the Quebec Nordiques. Participating advertisers are Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. The people of Eastern Airlines who believe we have to earn our wings every day. Chemical Bank. The chemistry's just right at Chemical. The #1 selling auto team on Long Island, your Nassau Suffolk Chevrolet dealers. And Mobil Detergent Gasoline. Mobil washes dirt away before it accumulates to help maintain your car's performance. Hi, everybody. I'm Jiggs McDonald with Ed Westfall here at the Nassau Coliseum. The Islanders lead the series 1-0 thanks to a 4-1 win here on Tuesday night. Question arises, did we see the real Quebec Nordiques? If you were with us on the warm-up show, you heard their general manager say no. They started both series, the one against Montreal and the one against Boston a little slowly, and then rebounded and won eventually, each series going the distance. For your money, did we see the Nordiques, the real Nordiques?
I would have to think, Jiggs, that they could play a little bit better. You have to remember one specific thought, though, has to come into my mind and other people's, that the New York Islanders control the puck in hockey games when they play their best. They played one of their best hockey games of the playoffs on Tuesday night. I expect them to play that good or a little bit better again tonight. And if they do, Quebec will not have the puck to play with. They'll be chasing it again tonight because the Islanders will play with it. The Islanders, of course, want to put Quebec back into their end of the ice. One of the weaknesses the Quebec Nordiques have is the fact that they're not very mobile in defense in their own end of the ice. They have trouble getting the puck to their forwards. The Islanders know that. They want to get on their defensemen very quickly and not give them the luxury of springing those quick, fast forwards out of their end of the ice. That's what the Islanders are going to try to do. Also, Bouchard you noticed on the replays, 3 of the 4 goals the Islanders scored went between his legs, and each time he was locked with his feet in behind the goalpost. He's very vulnerable between the legs. Up high, he has very good hands. The Islanders know that, so that's why they're keeping the puck down and going for the number 5 slot, if they call it, or whatever you like, between the knees. The Islanders have been successful. Quebec have to generate some constant pressure if they're going to get a puck by Billy Smith. His concentration is good. He's tuned in, and he wants to win.
Yeah, that is the key. I don't think there's anybody on this Islander team or in the entire organization that doesn't want to win their 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup. I go back to the Quebec defense, and during the warm-up here tonight, they had Lacroix out there, they had Hoganson. Marois did not warm up, I don't believe, but they really feel that they're shy as far as NHL experience is concerned. Even with Lacroix a little better defenseman perhaps than Hoganson at this point in their careers, or Marois for that matter, as far as mobility is concerned. But even with them in the lineup, they lack defensively, and that will be an area that the Islanders will certainly want to take advantage of. The other series, let's go to that one and just rehash a little bit. Chicago losing the home ice advantage in the Chicago Stadium on Tuesday night, a game and a half. Neil Milbert of the Chicago Tribune wrote glowingly of the game. Whoever writes the headlines in Chicago had a brilliant headline. It said, "It was a classic that ended with a thud." When you lose at 8 minutes and whatever it was of the second overtime, you got your game and a half, and you had a pretty good night, I would think, in a 2-1 loss.
Jiggs, overtime hockey games are like 7th games in any series, any 4 out of 7 series. They're anybody's hockey game. Any bounce of the puck, any kind of fluke thing can change the whole texture of a hockey game. We've seen time and again goaltenders put on sterling performances and stop 30 and 40 shots in a hockey game just to have some gruesome little gremlin type bounce go over his pad and into the net. You don't know when it gets to that point in a hockey game. Overtime is so exciting. It just reminds me of penalty shots. I think fans love penalty shots. They're one of the most exciting things in hockey, and overtime has to be one of the most exciting things along with penalty shots.
If the league were to adopt overtime as part of the regular season play, would it have the same excitement come Stanley Cup playoff time?
Oh, yes, I'm sure it would, because you're deciding something. It's not a matter of going away from the rink saying if this or if that. It's all decided by the time you leave. They put a little more emphasis on the fact that games mean that much during the regular season, and put overtime. The people will gain on the idea that the games are that important, so overtime does have some significance in regular season games. I'd like to see it.
Let's take a look at who is out of the lineups for tonight's game. First of all, we go to the Quebec Nordiques. Another defenseman, Michel Beauduc, we didn't mention, but he is on the sidelines along with Mario Marois. Jacques Richard, who had had only a so-so season, scratched tonight. So is Dale Hoganson. Richard David, Tim Tukey, acquired from Washington, and Clint Malarchuk is their 3rd goaltender in the rotation for Quebec. For the Islanders, the same 3 set out tonight. Thomas Janssen with a hip injury. Hector Marini has not played since breaking his hand late in the regular season. And Greg Gilbert, up from junior hockey, played in the opening series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So there are the scratches for tonight's game. The series moves to Quebec on Saturday night and again next Tuesday night. Should a 5th game be necessary, it'll be here at the Nassau Coliseum a week from tonight. Then it would be back to Quebec on the following Saturday, finish up here at the Coliseum the next Tuesday if it were to go the entire 7 games. I think Quebec, like several teams in the league, are a better team on home ice than they are on the road. And keeping that in mind, I still project 6 games in the series.
You project 6, and you're not wrong in projecting it, Jiggs. I'm looking at the Islanders thinking that if they win the first game, I feel that they'll win tonight. I feel if they can win the first game in Quebec, they'll sweep it. But if the Quebec Nordiques are going to get into the series, it has to be in the first game in Quebec. And that's not to say that if the Islanders come out and get a bad start here tonight, look out, because as we've talked about, the big plus for the Quebec Nordiques is their explosive forwards. And when they get the feel of scoring goals and start moving that puck the way they can move it and their legs with it, they can give the Islanders a lot of trouble. The Stasnys have not played like we've seen the Stasnys play before. When they get together, they handle that puck like it was on a string, and they don't let anybody get near it until it's in the net. Then they can have it. But they have not, in the first game, shown me the great Stastny performances that we've seen during the regular season.
I don't know that we'll see it tonight either, but I think we will see that type of play from the Stastny brothers in the Coliseum at Quebec. And again, I go back to this homer type thing. There's a tendency for this team, as so many others, to play better at home than on the road. But you've got your crystal ball. Maybe you've changed diet too, for all I know, and the way you're foreseeing this whole structure. The other series continues tonight in Chicago, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening there, as both the New York Islanders and the Quebec Nordiques and the Chicago Blackhawks and Vancouver Canucks go to the second game of their best-of-7 conference championships. The winners of each conference to meet for the Stanley Cup. We're awaiting the arrival of the two teams, both a little late coming out on the ice here tonight. Does that tell you anything?
No, not really, Jiggs. I think the Islanders are getting ready, and maybe they have a late change of a skate lace. There really isn't any significance to coming out onto the ice first or second, although the Islanders are the defending Stanley Cup champions. I never remembered that as being anything significant about whether they come out first or wait for the other team to come out and come out second. But one of the things that I have to think about in the playoffs so far, like during the regular season, the Islanders have not taken a lot of penalties. They've had a run of maybe some silly penalties at times, but overall they've stayed away from a lot of critical type penalties. And when they have taken them, they've had excellent penalty killing. Again, power play hasn't been really that good. It seems to show signs of getting better. One of the things that the Quebec Nordiques look for is to get their power play on the ice. They move the puck around as well as the Islanders, and they have a lot of scores, but they do not get the opportunities, and the Islanders seem reluctant to give them any good opportunities, and that hurts Quebec. So really the strategy on the Islanders side is to take away from Quebec all the things that they do well: skate and a power play, and so far they've done it in the first game.
I was looking at that particular stat based on the 80 games in the regular season today, as a matter of fact, and I think there was one power play difference or a penalty situation against between the two teams. So this penalty killing, there was only a difference of one occasion between the two. Well, as you can hear, the teams are coming out on the ice. We'll be ready for the opening face-off of Game 2 of the series following this message.
This Bud's for everyone who's in the groove. It's 5 minutes on the upswing of 5. Outside it's 87 degrees under sunny blue skies. Stay tuned for my man Flash. I'm moving out of here, having myself an ice cold brew. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud is for you. I know.
Quebec Nordiques huddled around goaltender Daniel Bouchard at the far end of the ice, as you see the Islanders coming back to tap the pads of goaltender Bill Smith at this near end. Another capacity crowd, including a large number of fans from the province of Quebec, and the city of Quebec City in particular. On hand here tonight, including a full Indian chief who brings a tom-tom war drum with him. As always, Mr. Joe Dewar with both the Canadian and American national anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A capacity crowd at the Nassau Coliseum. This game will now move to the hands of referee Ron Wicks. He is by himself at center ice, now joined by Ryan Bozak. The other linesman will be Ray Scapanello, the same pair as worked game one. And Scapanello
Putting a little tape around the shin pads. The linesman and the referee have tiny shin pads they wear. If they get loose, they flop around on their leg. It's very uncomfortable. He's anchoring his shin pad to the calf of his leg with some tape.
taking some good-natured ribbing from the Islander players as well.
Always Ray Scapanello, a favorite of all the players in the National Hockey League, is respected for the job he does.
At center ice, Wayne Merrick. John Tonelli on the left side, Bob Nystrom on the right. Persson and Langevin, the Islander defense, and this is Langevin clearing it to center off Hunter's stick. Langevin picks it up again, gave it a blast from the blue line that went off the defenseman Rochefort and shook him up. And now play has been called, and Rochefort is really on the limp.
Dave Langevin trying to shoot the puck into Quebec's end of the ice. Catches the inside of Norman Rochefort's skate. Looked like it hit him on the inside of the leg. Here's Dave Langevin as he shoots the puck in. There you see it. Right as Rochefort turns, the puck caught him on the inside of the leg.
So he limps to the bench. And Quebec having problems keeping a healthy defense core. Weir has come out with Terrien on their defense. Merrick, Nystrom, and Tonelli remain as the forward line for the Islanders. Right side, this is Hunter into the Islanders zone. Dropped it back. Goulet shot, stick saved by Bill Smith, and it goes over the glass into the crowd.
First blood drawn by the Quebec Nordiques. A wrist shot. Goulet. Smith had no trouble handling it. There he is, number 16, Michel Goulet. 6'1", 195. He's 21 years of age. 6 shorthanded goals. He has the only 2 shorthanded goals in the playoffs for the Quebec Nordiques.
Now Al Arbor sends out Bob Bourne, Brian Trottier, and Mike Bossy as the forward line. Potvin and Lane on defense. Bruce DuPont and Dave Pichette, the Quebec defense. Cote works with Peter Stastny and Marion Stastny as the Nordiques forward line. Brian Trottier backhanded it into the Quebec zone. Bouchard left it for Pichette around the boards and went right to Trottier. Fired it through in front of the net. It comes off the left wing boards and cleared by Cote. Potvin gave it to Lane. Up to Bourne too far. Here's Pichette backing up at the Quebec line. Over to DuPont. Bruce DuPont with a minute gone in game 2 has dumped it into the Islanders zone. That's Potvin with it. Now to Trottier around one check. Trottier had to turn as Cote moved up quickly. Brian Trottier out into center. Bourne unable to get a stick on it. Goes wide of the Quebec goal, and as DuPont goes back, we get an icing call.
There he is, Brian Trottier. See the stats. When you asked him, Jiggs, about the streak of games that ended in the Pittsburgh series, his response was what? That didn't bother him that much, or?
No, he felt that he'd had his chances, that he had made some plays that could have resulted in goals being scored where he would have been credited with an assist, that type of thing. If the chances weren't there, in other words, he would have been concerned.
Something we've mentioned in regard to Bob Bourne, the fact that when he was not scoring, he was still getting the opportunities. He just was not putting them in.
On the draw, Quebec got it back to the blue line. Weir's shot a backhander right into the catching glove of Bill Smith.
On the Quebec Nordiques, there are 4 selections from the 1980 entry draft. Rochefort, Basil McRae, Gaston Terrien, and Michel Bolduc.
Quebec got the job. Came on to Anton Stastny, and he couldn't hold the puck. This is Dwayne Sutter, who's out on right wing. Goring is there, along with Gillies, who has come out to replace Trottier. Moved it into the Quebec zone, and Paymont starts out on the right side. Will Paymont, long pass at center. Gillies in a bit of a feud here on the near side of the ice. It knocked Aubrey down, and now Gillies has taken some heat from Paymont and overcome the rest of the Nordiques and the New York Islanders. Mark Gillies being restrained by the linesmen Bozak and Scapanello. Meantime, Goring and Terrien, and now Wayne Sutter took a shot from Paymont. Well, Paymont not content to let this thing end where it is, but there is a break in the action. The score tied. The Islanders nothing, the Nordiques nothing.
We're Eastern, America's favorite way to fly.
For 3 years now, more passengers have flown Eastern than any other airline in the free world. If you're flying Eastern, we thank you. If you haven't flown Eastern recently, give us a try. We'll show you we really do earn our wings every day.
We're Eastern, America's favorite way to fly. Come fly with Eastern.
Clark Gillies in the penalty box, drawing an interference penalty. Let's see how it happened. Right there, Gillies. No question, the puck was not involved with either player. Terrien takes 2 jolts from Clark Gillies, and Gillies gets the penalty.
To kill it off, it'll be Butch Goring, Billy Carroll, Danny Potvin, and Ken Burrell. We're back on the power play. They have the Stastnys, well, 2 of the 3. Paymont is the other forward. There's Anton Stastny, Peter Stastny, and Will Paymont as Quebec mishandled the puck at their own line. Billy Carroll has trouble with it at the Islander line. And it's cleared back into the center ice zone. Now jammed up on the boards as Quebec never did penetrate into the Islander territory. 26 seconds gone in the penalty against Gillies.
Rael Cloutier, 25 years old, Saint-Emile, Quebec. 5'10", 185-pounder. He can move. He hasn't shown the great speed in the first game. He didn't show the speed that we know he possesses.
Now the 3 Stastnys are teamed up as the forward line. Cloutier on defense with Bichette. Bichette into center ice. Peter Stastny check. Managed to get it to Marion on the left side. It was broken up and cleared by Billy Carroll.
Jiggs, the Islanders in the last 24 penalty-killing situations here at the Coliseum have given up only 3 goals, but they've scored 2 shorthanded goals themselves.
Now Quebec comes to center ice. Marion Stastny dumping it into the Islanders zone. Peter in after it. Put it out in front to the blue line. Here is Bichette. To Marion Stastny. Rink wide for Cloutier. Cloutier to Bichette. Bichette fake the shot. Stastny a drive off the stick of Potvin. The rebound. Smith the save. Another drive, and it hit the post to the right of Bill Smith.
Good call, Jiggs McDonald. Good eyes. Jiggs as the puck glances off the right goalpost. Good opportunity for the Quebec Nordiques.
Now Quebec hemmed in their own zone. Bourne knocked down. The puck is beneath them, and we'll get a face-off outside the Quebec blue line.
Bobby Bourne stopping the play. He's playing in his 82nd Islander playoff game. That makes him go beyond 1 past Lorne Henning for 6th place on the all-time Islander list. There you see Billy Smith. Some close action around Billy Smith. Michel Bergeron, the young coach of the Quebec Nordiques. I guess it's proper to say Nordique, isn't it? It's like Coliseum, the Coliseum. Here in Quebec, it's the Coliseum. And it's not Nordiques, it's Nordique.
That seems to be the pronunciation I hear more than any other from the Quebec people. And is it Quebec, Quebec, Quebec? Who knows? The Nordiques moving into the Islander zone. Tardif got in deep, couldn't handle the puck, and Smith came out to force him into the corner. Back of the Islander net. Goulet got it to the line. Moving in. A drive from Rochefort was blocked by Smith, and Goring sends Carroll into center. Terrien is back. Billy Carroll cuts to the right. Let a shot go, and it was into the skates of Terrien. Now Carroll knocked down on the boards. Tardif wheels back to the Quebec goal. Mark Tardif at the blue line. Into center. Goring stole it. Lost control of it. Goulet sends Tardif over the line. Langevin chased him to the far boards. Herson steps into his man. Games are at 6 aside again. The puck frozen on the boards, and we'll get a face-off. There's a break in the action. The score tied. Islanders nothing, the Nordiques nothing.
Hot string. Chevy's coming at you on a hot string. Have we got a Chevy for you?
A sizzling new 1982 Chevy Citation, America's best-selling front-wheel drive car. Citation, it's compact on the outside and seats 5 on the inside. Get a hot deal on great wheels. A new Citation today at your Nassau Suffolk Chevy dealer.
Hot
Following the face-off, the puck came outside the Islander line and shot back in, catching several of the Quebec players offside with 4 minutes gone here in the first period.
Jiggs, we talked about Quebec and their selections in 1980. The first year in the league for Quebec, 79. Their first pick, Michel Goulet. Dale Hunter was their second. Anton Stastny in the 4th round, and Pierre Lacroix the 5th round. So 2 years in a row, they've come up with 8 fine hockey players.
There's a rumor circulating that at least one, maybe more members of the Czechoslovakian national team have defected and could be headed for Quebec. Here's Tonelli in the Islanders, in the Quebec zone rather. McEwen is shot. Bouchard the save. Dives on top of the rebound, and we're going to face off to his left. First flurry for the Islanders inside that Quebec blue line.
Dan Bouchard, the man behind the mask, makes the save as the Islanders bring the play on into Quebec's end of the ice. John Tonelli plays it back to number 2, Mike McEwen. There's the shot. Bobby Nystrom standing right in front of Bouchard. Bouchard got his left pad on the puck, making the save and dropped quickly to block any rebound attempt.
Eric on the face-off. Nystrom to the right, Tonelli to the left side. McEwen and Morrow on the points. Puck bounced following the face-off and taken by Terrion. Around to the left side to McRae. Couldn't get a stick on it. Nystrom shot tipped right on. Bouchard, a good stop after Wayne Merrick had tipped the shot from the right side.
Good shot from the point. Bob Nystrom moving back to help out his point man. There's Bouchard again. Just saw his first action. McEwen from the point, then Bob Nystrom from the right point. Ryan Bozak, the linesman, getting ready to drop the puck. Watch his hand. See how it goes up in the air before he drops it? Little signals.
Islanders hold it in the Quebec zone. Trottier out in front. Bossy shot one wide. Mike Bossy is checked in the corner. Nordiques try to move out and have difficulty. Cote got tangled up a little bit with DuPont, and here's Lane at center ice. Bumped by Peter Stastny, but Trottier was there. To Poffan. Poffan bumped. Cote forced back into the Quebec zone. Trottier took the puck from him, got it to Bossy, but Peter Stastny hustled back. Out at center ice, this is Gord Lane. Lane fires one off Pichette deep into the Quebec zone. Bourne comes in to forecheck. And Pichette rounds the net. Played it up the left side to Alain Cote. Now at center ice, Peter Stastny's check for his brother. Right on his stick, but broken up neatly. Trottier and Potvin got to the line. Bourne was there as well. Couldn't handle the puck or get around Cote. And Marion Stastny gave it to DuPont. Now to Peter Stastny.
See how quick that Brian Trottier moved up to force the Quebec defenseman to move the puck wide, and you had all 3 of the Islander forwards covering someone in the center ice area, nullifying any of the open ice ability of Quebec.
Poffan tried to send Gillies into the Quebec zone with that pass, and now Anton Stastny's drive kicked out by Smith, and Lane just did tip the rebound away from Anton Stastny. Gord Lane to Bossy, and now to Goring. Gillies goes up the left side, took the pass over the Quebec line, trying to come out around Terrion, and the shot turned aside by Bouchard. Wayne Sutter moving in. The puck moves to the blue line, however. Goring to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter out of the corner, put it in front, broken up by Rochefort. Rochefort to Paymont. Will Paymont sends Peter Stastny across the Islander line. Stastny cuts to the left side. Pearson runs into him, and Goring cleared the puck, but not out, and the drive just went wide of the net. And again, the Stastnys in that Islander zone and forced back into their own territory. Terrion around to Rochefort. No score in the first period. Rochefort ahead to Paymont. It went off his skates, cleared by Tonelli to Pearson. Stephen Pearson pulling it away from Aubrey. Dumps it into center ice. Nordiques have it at their own blue line. Terrion. Thanks one off the boards. And into the penalty box. And now a little fencing at center ice. Paymont and Wayne Sutter exchanging words. The linesmen get in between them. Ron Wicks, the referee, right there as well. We have 13:24 left in the opening period. A break in the action. The score tied. Islanders nothing, Nordiques nothing.
Now watch sports anytime on the 24-hour cable sports network ESPN. Swing into weekly top-ranked boxing with the toughest boxers in the country. Watch smashing WCT tennis with the most exciting pros on the circuit. Drive into breathtaking NASCAR, USAC, and kart auto racing. And also catch NCAA Baseball's College World Series. Watch ESPN for sports anytime.
The tempers recede. Both teams have a great respect for the other's power play. They do not want to give away anything. The sticks stay down. They keep it verbal.
Al Arbor has put together a line that has Billy Carroll at center, Brent Sutter on the right side, and Anders Kaller on the left. That's Kaller dumping it around the boards. Rochefort for Quebec. Ahead on the left wing side. Long pass to Paymont into the Islanders zone. Is shot off the stick hand. And the stick actually of Bill Smith, who went up to make this stop. Brent Sutter moves it around to the left wing boards. Picked up by Anders Kaller. Kaller rink wide for Brent Sutter. Back to McEwen. McEwen to Brent Sutter. Comes to center ice. Sutter ran into the check of Paymont. And here's Terrion covering up inside his own line. Rochefort, who was shaken up earlier in the period. Anton Stastny trying to make the play, but Billy Carroll took over, gave it to McEwen. To Carroll, intercepted at center ice. O'Brien across the line, drop pass. Anton Stastny unable to set up Paymont as McEwen got a piece of the puck. Billy Carroll has dumped it back inside the Quebec line, and Lacroix, out for the first time, turns in front of his own goal and gave it to Weir. Wally Weir fired it into center ice, right to Lane. Lane lead pass to Kaller, too far. Kaller in after it. Bouchard without a stick, and the Islanders lead it 1-0.
Wayne Merrick moves in quickly. Bouchard makes the first great error of the hockey game, and the Islanders pounce on an open puck and put it in. There he is. Wayne Merrick cashes in on a mistake by Bouchard. There's Kaller with Weir checking him. Look at Bouchard. He's too far out of the net. His fifth goal of the playoffs goes Wayne Merrick. Here's the hustle of Kaller, checked by Weir, but Bouchard out of position. DuPont can't get to it either, and Wayne Merrick has given the Islanders a 1-0 lead at 12:14, or with 12:14 left to play in the first period.
Gord Lane. Long pass to Kaller, then it came off the boards. Kaller and after it, as you saw. The result, Merrick's fifth of the playoffs at 7:46. Now here's Nystrom into center ice. He's taken away from him by Weir. Goulet back inside the Quebec line to Pichette. Off the boards, out into center ice. Langevin picks it up, gave it to Persson. Persson to Merrick, tipped it into the Quebec zone. Pichette chasing it. Bouchard is out of the net, fired one around the boards to Goulet on left wing. Goulet to Hunter. Hunter over the line, back to Goulet. In front, that's Cloutier. Back up to the blue line, gave it to Pichette. A drive, blocked by Smith. And Langevin cleared it away from Cloutier, and Nystrom has been able to dump it to center ice.
The advantages of the long reach of Dave Langevin. Twice in this game now, he's taken pucks away from Quebec forwards around the net.
And Bossy just broke up a Quebec play at the Islander line. Here's Hunter dumping one in, cleared out quickly by Persson. Bourne on the left side, bumped into Hunter. And the puck dumped right back to Langevin. Langevin at the center ice stripe. Gave it to Trottier, comes in on the left wing side, chased wide by Pichette. Back to the net, that's Bossy with it. Unable to get in front, Trottier unable to dump one in front of the net as well. Now centers, comes back to Potvin, blows right in from the point, centers. Oh, and it was cleared as Bossy went to make contact with it. Back come the Nordiques. Cloutier is over the line, gave it to Peter Stastny. His drive went wide on the glove side. Cloutier chased to the boards by Trottier, and Bossy pulls the puck loose. Bourne to Potvin. Ahead to Bob Bourne, the Trottier as they come to center ice. Back to Bourne. Bourne over the line, drop pass. Trottier fired one in, intended for Bourne. It was broken up. Cleared in front, comes to Lane on the right side. Gordy Lane uses the boards to get it to Trottier. Trottier to the corner for Bossy. Bossy being chased by DuPont. Bourne was there, couldn't get it away from Peter Stastny, and out come the Nordiques. Down the right side. Marion Stastny to Peter, walks right in and shot it high. Smith went down. He comes back on the right side. Terry on with a drive. Blocked by Smith, and he covers up. There's a break in the action. 10:06 left in the first period. And the score, New York Islanders 1, Quebec Nordiques, no score.
Well, excuse-moi, can you spare $5.15 for a cup of coffee?
I think prices are high now. Wait till the year 2000.
Great! Bologna's on sale.
This is a real steal, $4,100 a month, with a view.
Well, there's help. Chemical Bank's IRA. You'll get a giant tax break now and tax-deferred interest. So someday you could retire a millionaire. After all, you'll need it.
Okay, $31,000, but I'm practically giving it away.
Chemicals Tax Shelter IRA.
Billy Smith stopped a tip-in attempt by Alain Cote right in front of him. Good end-to-end action. A moment ago, Dennis Potvin in, made a pass to Bossy. Peter Stastny intercepted it, brought it down the ice, and they had a play at Billy Smith. The puck deflected over as Stastny pulled the puck around Dennis Potvin. He put the puck over the crossbar.
Now as the Islanders went to clear one out of their own zone, McEwen got a lot on it. It was up in the air and hit the scoreboard, and will result in a face-off on the edge of the circle to the left of goaltender Bill Smith as we look at Alger Joseph Harper. I know it's an old story, but in what is his room between periods, those butts are lined up end on end or end to end and as neat as you could ask. Go through a lot of between periods. McEwen carrying it out of his own zone, gets away from O'Bray across the Quebec line, unable to make the play to Goring. And it's poked out to center ice, picked up by Paymont, who's over the line. Paymont on this right wing side, unable to set up Stastny. Now gets it to the blue line, Pichette with it. Backhanded one in front, Gillies knocked it down, pulls it away from O'Bray, and then can't get out of his own zone. Here's Paymont. Paymont on his off wing. It's Stastny, and time, checked back in the net by McEwen. O'Bray with the puck, dumps it back in the net. Anton Stastny and McEwen still fighting for it. Cleared to the opposite corner. And again, Anton Stastny after it to O'Bray, put it out in front off the stick of Kenny Morrow. Ahead to Gillies, back to Morrow. Morrow turns, played it to the right side for Dwayne Sutter. Now to Goring. Goring takes it off the boards, comes over the Quebec line. That's to the right, drop pass to Gillies. Around to the left side. Gillies centers one in front that was cut off at the defense. Rochefort feeds it into center. Over the Islander line is Pat Hickey. Hickey was checked. Here's Tardif moving in. He scores! Mark Tardif puts it by Bill Smith on the glove side, and we're even at 1.
Mark Tardif has the most experience on the Quebec team. He put the puck on the short side. What a neat play. Pat Hickey here. You see him knock Langevin's stick away. Langevin can't get to Tardif. There's the shot. Short side. It went underneath the catching glove of Billy Smith. He had pulled away from the goalpost just enough. There it is, right under his catching mitt into the net. There was not enough room for the puck, it seemed, but he squeezed the puck through, and it's tied now at 1 apiece. Tardif getting his first goal of the playoffs.
Rochefort draws an assist along with Pat Hickey. Tardif's goal at 11:04.
I stand corrected. I forgot that Moose DuPont, one-time Philadelphia Flyer, has the most playoff experience on the Quebec team. I hasten to correct myself.
You're forgiven. 8:44 left in this first period. We look at Bill Smith.
Still trying to figure out how that puck got in there. Not much room at all. We'll wait. Maybe get another look at another time of the goal as Mark Tardif found enough daylight to put the puck underneath Billy Smith's catching mitt.
Now the puck has been cleared outside the Islander line. That's Wally Weir, chased by Brent Sutter. Ersan moved up and was knocked down. It's up shoving a little with Basil McRae as Bouchard goes out of the Quebec goal, played it around the boards to McRae. Basil McRae fires it high in the air. Persson with it at center ice. Now to Kaller on left wing. Kaller comes in over the line. It was lined up by McRae. Kaller in front. Brent Sutter shot blocked by Bouchard, and he was unable to smother the rebound, but the Nordiques have it. McRae at center. Into the Islander zone, but is offside as Hickey moved in ahead of him. And a little bumping as McRae and Persson came off the board, shoving at one another. Carroll is there along with Weir, but nothing serious develops. A break in the action. 8 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first period. The score tied. Islanders won, the Nordiques won.
In Atlantic City, there are 8 hotel casinos. And then there's the Golden Nugget. There is no hotel casino in the world like the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City. You really have to see it to believe it.
Golden opportunity. You see the rebound as Billy Carroll tried to put it in. The play, Andy Caller avoided a check from Basil McRae, passed it to Brent Sutter. He was in all alone. Bouchard robbed him.
We are tied 1-1. First period action at the Nassau Coliseum. Nystrom, Tonelli, and Wayne Merrick, the forward line. Here is Tonelli on left wing, blasting one around the boards in the Quebec zone. Into the skates of Dale Hunter, drops it to Rochefort. Tonelli was upended in front of the net, and there's no further play. An interference penalty against Dave Pichette. That'll set up the first Islander power play of the night as Pichette pulled down Tonelli in his hustle in front of the Quebec goal.
You see the referee, Ron Wicks, crosses hands. That's the interference signal. A penalty, interference to Dave Pichette on John Tonelli as he worked his way in to get in good position in front of Dan Bouchard.
Penalty called at the 12-10 mark. Islanders were 2 of 4 on the power play here on Tuesday night after going 1 of 10 in the regular season against Quebec in 3 games. It is Trottier, Bossy, Bourne, Potvin, and Persson for the Islanders. There's Rochefort slapping it around high down into the Islanders zone. Ryan Trottier will come back to pick it up. Trottier waits back to the net. Goulet and Hunter are the forwards killing it off for Quebec. Now here's Potvin lugging it out. Danny Potvin left side to Bossy. Mike Bossy back to the blue line. That's Potvin to the corner. Trottier goes back to the net, tied up by Rochefort. Bourne comes in as well, jabbed it loose, but right to Moose Dupont. He lofts it high into the Islanders zone.
In the regular season, Jake, all-time Islanders versus Quebec. Islanders 13 for 41, 31.7% efficiency. Regular season games.
On the power play,
yes.
This season was a little different.
Yes, it was. Quebec, on the other hand, 12 for 52. Regular season, again, 23.1%.
The Islanders go into the Quebec zone offside as the pass to Persson was just a little late. 1:03 left in the penalty time against Pichette.
Had a good look there. Dennis Potvin, his stick. As you look over his shoulder, you can see the bend or the curve, whichever, in the blade of Dennis Potvin's stick that is not supposed to exceed 1/2 inch measured from the tip of the toe to the heel.
There's a curve in Bouchard's stick. A lot of the goaltenders using the curve stick.
Well,
now.
as we mentioned Tuesday night, Danny Bouchard and Billy Smith, 2 of the fine puck-handling goaltenders in the league.
Oh, what a collision back of the net as Rochefort and Trottier collided. The puck cleared to center. This is Bossy with it. Mike Bossy played it away from Hickey. The Persson intended for Bossy and was broken up. Here's Moose Dupont. Dupont doesn't have the speed that he once had. And it's cleared by Weir, forcing the Islanders back.
Time does that to you.
Those Moose never did have that.
No, breakaway speed.
Goulet broke up Potvin's rush, and now there'll be a penalty against Denny Potvin as Hunter drops it back. Bouchard has gone to the Quebec players' bench. Terrien with the puck into center ice. That's Peter Stastny to Weir. Time running down in the penalty against the Islanders. Tonelli with the puck, and play is called. Denny Potvin goes off for holding. Only 11 seconds remain in the penalty against Pichette.
Islanders power play having problems. They did not have the puck in Quebec's end of the ice for any length of time. Here's Dennis Potvin as he's checked immediately by number 16, Michel Goulet. Potvin pulled him down and drew the attention of referee Ron Wicks. Gets a penalty. As you mentioned, Jiggs, 11 seconds remaining in Pichette's interference penalty. So in 11 seconds, Quebec will have another power play. Gillies with an interference penalty at 1:43 of the first penalty period, gave Quebec their first opportunity.
So Goring is out with Billy Carroll, Gord Lane, and Ken Morrill. Rochefort back in his own zone. Therion plays it around the boards for Rochefort. Carroll steps into him. And up the left side they come, led by Therion. Therion, one of those wraparound passes to Peter Stastny, then Therion was taken down. This is Cloutier coming in from the left point. Back to Peter Stastny. To Cloutier, and Carroll deflected it. Cloutier back to the point. DuPont gave it to Cloutier. To the right point. This is Therion with a shot off the stick of Goring and way up into the crowd.
Good pursuit of the puck by Butch Goring as Gaston Therion, number 10, took too long to take a shot. It gave Goring time to get his stick in front of it. As a penalty killer, that's what he wants to do. Get his body in front if he can, but if he can't get the body there quick enough, get the stick out, try and defect the puck, particularly when they're out near the point.
Peter Stastny on the draw against Goring, and the puck comes out into center ice. Cloutier has it, being watched by Billy Carroll, and then chased into his own zone. The puck came off Carroll's stick. Anton Stastny dropped it back. Riel, Buddy, Cloutier. Into center ice for Peter Stastny. Dumps it in deep. Going back is Lane. Lane rushed in the corner. Peter Stastny with the puck to the blue line for Pichette. To Peter Stastny, and that one off Goring and into the crowd.
Again.
4 left in the penalty.
I should say Butch Goring in pursuit of the defenseman. Gets his stick on the puck. Good play by Goring. Gets a stoppage of play. Gives Al Arbour a chance to change his penalty killer.
Now from the draw, it comes back to Cloutier, to Pichette. Right side, this is Marion Stastny with it. Marion Stastny, Peter Stastny, and Anton Stastny, the forwards. And Taylor came over to break up the pass. And comes down the right side in the Quebec zone, away from Peter Stastny. Rink wide to Bourne. Bob Bourne tied up in the corner. Now Bourne unable to get it away from Peter Stastny. Lane at center ice. Knocked it away from Marion. Peter to Cloutier. Buddy Cloutier. Checked by Anders Kaller. Kaller dumps it back into the Quebec zone. Oh, we watch Pichette come over the Islander line. Pichette chased wide, unable to get it to the blue line cleanly. Now Anton to Peter Stastny, and it's under Morrill. Picked up by Goring. Kenny Morrill. And Goring team up, and here's Carroll at center ice. Grabbed from behind by Cloutier. Got away from him. There's going to be a penalty to Cloutier.
And the Islanders have the puck, and he's calling a penalty. Butch Goring arguing the fact, and well, he should. The Islanders had possession of the puck. A penalty called on Quebec. The whistle should not blow. A break in the action. The score is still tied. Islanders 1, Nordiques 1. We'll be right back.
Yes. My company's operating balances don't earn a dime. What can the Bank of New York do for me?
Manage your money so it makes you money with new Check Invest.
I can't tie up operating funds.
No problem. Check Invest links a regular business checking account to a money market fund.
So I earn money market interest?
Automatically every day.
My bank doesn't have anything like Check Invest.
Does yours? Check Invest, the first business checking plan that manages your money so it makes you money. Only at the Bank of New York.
Riel, Cloutier, you see him hooking. Islanders have the puck. The whistle blew when Butch Goring touched the puck. Quebec did not have possession of the puck at any one time after the referee, Ron Wicks, raised his arm, signaling a penalty. I have to think that he miscued in whistling the play dead.
I think you're right.
Riel Cloutier, number 9, in the penalty box. 2 seconds remaining on Potvin's penalty. He's out.
And Persson just held the puck in for Trottier. Up it wide. We watch an Islander power play as Bouchard tried to bank one off the glass. It hit Persson, went to Trottier. Trottier back to the blue line. Here's Potvin with a drive. Blocked by Bouchard. Potvin with the rebound. Rolls it off the left wing boards over to Persson. Back to Potvin. Potvin in the middle of the ice. The Bossy to Trottier, and it off his stick and right to Hunter. Hunter moves into center. He and Goulet are the forwards for the Nordiques. Here's it back to Normand Rochefort, who dumps it down into the Islander territory. 1:15 remaining in the penalty time against Cloutier. 3:23 left in the first period. We're tied 1-1. John Tonelli sends Bossy down the right side. Bossy back to Tonelli, and he had been knocked down. And Hickey got a piece of him. Persson with the puck. Sends Potvin over the line. Potvin to John Tonelli. In on left wing. Tonelli centers one off the stick of Bossy, and it's cleared high and into the Islanders' zone. Now 50 seconds remaining in the power play. Bill Smith around the boards to John Tonelli. To Butch Goring. Goring carries it down the left wing over the Quebec line. That's to the left. Dropped it to Bossy. Bossy centers one in front. Bouchard a stick save, and the puck is dumped into center ice.
Islanders coming close, but not close enough. Quebec covering well in front of goaltender Bouchard.
Potvin, a clearing pass, hit Dale Hunter. McEwen picks it up back of his own goal. McEwen up the left side. This is Potvin, rink wide to Gillies. Mark Gillies fires one into the Quebec zone. 13 seconds left. It came right out in front. Cleared to Pichette. Check back of the goal. Gillies trying to put one out in front of the net. Picked up by Dwayne Sutter. Goring a shot at wide. Gillies now to McEwen off the right point. A drive. That sailed wide on the glove side. Picked up by Dale Hunter. The penalty time against Cloutier has expired. Game's at 6 aside. The game tied 1-1. First period at the Coliseum. 2 minutes remaining. Long pass. Goring sends Dwayne Sutter over the line. Dwayne Sutter off the boards to Gillies, and he tipped it to the corner. Picked up by Goring. Comes out in front. Gave it to Morrow from the blue line. Bouchard the save. Cloutier dumps it up the right wing, and the Nordiques have a break. 2-on-1. Hunter across the line. Left side. Cote in deep centers. Smith made the save, and McEwen cleared it out of the air. McEwen around to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter rink wide to Gillies. The pass behind him picked up by the Nordiques. Terrion comes back in over the Islander line. Went to center one that hit McEwen, and Morrow is there to clear the puck. Peter Stastny and Nystrom collided. Cote took Merrick off the puck. Peter Stastny to Cloutier. Good stop by Bill Smith as Cloutier blasted one about 10 feet inside the Islander line.
Concentration by Billy Smith as Quebec, after the Islanders had several opportunities on Dan Bouchard, come right back and work the puck into the Islanders' end. Number 26, Peter Stastny. Right here, a drive by Cloutier. What a save Billy Smith makes. He was off balance, reaching out quickly with his catching glove, and he snared it. Some boards come loose. Glass, I guess. Broken stick at the other end. That stick is Butch Goring's. Goring trying to make a quick move and a shot at the net. Broke his stick in doing so. As the Islanders pressed in Quebec's end of the ice, Quebec come back quickly. Peter Stastny to Cloutier. Good shot. Saved by Billy Smith.
A minute 17 left in the opening period.
In the first game, Jiggs, first time this year the Islanders have had 2 power play goals in one hockey game. First game against Quebec Tuesday night. No other game during the playoffs have the Islanders been able to score 2 playoff or power play goals.
Seems strange, doesn't it?
It does. It seems very strange when it's brought to the attention.
Yeah. Glad you did that. Thank you. Trache against Paymont in this face-off. It was in Paymont's skates.
You know, that was Eric.
And put it out in front, and Smith came up with a dandy save off Anton Stastny. Now Rochefort had trouble holding it in at the blue line. Terrion on the right side. Fires it around the boards. Lane let it go to Carroll. Billy Carroll backhands it into the Quebec zone, and that'll force Terrion to go in deep. Pouring into forecheck, Carroll and Caller. Terrion to Rochefort. Billy Carroll got a piece of him. Now it came right back to Carroll after Brent Sutter had moved in on the play. Potvin will pick it up at center ice. Potvin to Caller. Caller unable to get back inside the Quebec zone. It's dumped down the ice, and icing is called against Quebec. 36 seconds remaining in this first period.
There he is, Gordy Lane. What a playoff he's been having. Has been the best defensive Islander on the team consistently over the playoffs. Has his confidence. Made the play earlier off the backboards with Caller moving in quickly. Bouchard made the wrong move. The puck went over Caller, who was being checked by Weir. And Merrick put the puck in.
Just in the corner of your screen, you saw the collision with Potvin and Paymont. Sticks up, came back to the other boards. Up again. We watch Bossy feeding it to Potvin from the point. His shot tipped off the stick of Bourne. On board, fed it to Lane from the opposite point. His drive block picked up by Bossy. Turn, shot one high. Bourne chases it to the near corner. 18 seconds left in the period. Now Hunter dumps it high, and it goes up into the crowd. That'll result in a face-off deep in the Quebec end of the ice.
Jiggs, I was talking about the fact that Gordy Lane saw Caller with speed moving up into the end zone. He moved the puck in quickly, banked it off the boards. That's a good play by Lane. Takes a little expertise to find the right spot in the boards to make it bounce so it comes straight out like a good pass. You'll remember in Game 5 against Pittsburgh when he did the same thing. The puck bounced over Randy Carlyle's stick. John Tonelli scored to tie the game late in the third period, sending it to overtime, and the Islanders eliminated Pittsburgh. It was Gordy Lane's perfect play off the end boards that set that up.
And this will do it for the opening period as the horn sounds. The end of one, the score tied. The Islanders won, the Nordiques won. We'll be back with a recap following this message.
There's a 2-1 lead. Bossy, Islander leading, 7th playoff goal. Good play. Bourne, hard work along behind the net, along the boards. That's where it pays off. Bossy finished the play. 2-1 Islanders.
Now Goring is at center ice. Dwayne Sutter on the right wing. Clark Gillies on the left. Anton Stastny over the line. A good play by Morrow to come back and knock it away. Now to Sutton front. Smith got the right pad in front of his shot by Paymont. Wayne Sutter unable to pick up the puck on the right wing. Rochefort back inside his own blue line. Normand Rochefort. Long slap shot. Smith kicks it aside. That's Morrow trying to move up the right wing boards. Tipped in front of the Islander goal. In and out of the skates of McEwen, and he lugs it to center ice. McEwen to Dwayne Sutter to Gillies on left wing. Can't get around Terrion. It clears it high into the Islander zone across the goal line. Morrow back to pick it up. And we get an icing call. A break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2, the Nordiques 1.
There's the pass. Bossy behind the net to Bourne as he fights off Andre Dupont. Mike Bossy puts it away, and that's how the Islanders got a 2-1 lead. Quebec come right back quickly, and Paymont had a great opportunity. Smith did not get back to cover the net quick enough, but he got his right skate on a shot by Wilf Paymont.
Now we watch Luce over the Islander line. A shot into the pads of Bill Smith, and he, falling backwards, was able to cover up and smother the puck.
Mike Bossy, Jiggs, his 7th goal, leads Wayne Merrick. Merrick, of course, scoring the opening goal of the game. Merrick, his 5th. There's the shot by number 9, Rayo Kluche. Billy Smith loses his balance. Smartly hangs on the puck. Bossy was 7, has more goals in this year's playoff only than Wayne Merrick. Several others have 5.
Yeah, Brian Trottier with 5, John Tonelli, Clark Gillies, and Butch Goring all with 5. Joined tonight in that circle by Wayne Merrick with his 5th of the playoffs. Nystrom unable to get out of his own zone. Weir lost it to Trottier, gave it to Langevin. Up the left side to Merrick. Wayne Merrick across the Quebec line, chased to the boards, then dumped it around behind the net. Bouchard unable to cut it off, but that's Weir back. Weir handed it right to Tonelli as he came in on left wing. To Merrick in front. Back to the corner for John Tonelli. Tonelli trying to get away from Terrion. Nystrom picks up the puck. Bob Nystrom looks for somebody in front. Tonelli was open, couldn't get it to him. Langevin held it in at the line to Persson, and a shot block. Tonelli the rebound. Bouchard a pad save. And the Nordiques able to clear it out of there.
Good opportunity by the Islanders. Dan Bouchard makes the save. Close in.
Now Nystrom on the right wing boards. Played it rink wide. Langevin couldn't catch up with it. Here's Peter Stastny for Quebec. Dropped it off for Pichette. Left side to Cote. Persson tied him up. Back in his own zone, this is Dave Pichette. Pichette to Dupont. Andre Dupont, right side. Anton Stastny brings it in over the Islander line, in around Langevin, and Smith reached up to knock it off his stick. Rolls through in front and cleared by Persson. Now Dupont from the line. Smith got a piece of that after Cote had set up the play, and the Islanders moving up left wing to Bossy. Backing up is Dupont. Bossy a slap shot, sailed wide on the stick side, and bounces out into center ice. Here is Cote for Quebec. Checked at center ice. Bourne gives it to Bossy. Bossy to Trottier over the line with Popan. The pass to Denny that was tipped by Pichette. Denny Popan to Brian Trottier. Trottier checked back of the goal and knocked down. Pichette picks it up. Ahead to Anton Stastny. Came off his stick, and Popan has it at center. Denny Popan dumped it to the Quebec line. Right to Dupont. DuPont lugs it inside the Islander line. Long shot, knocked out of the air by Bill Smith, and there's Potvin using the boards to give it to Bourne. Right side, Bossy was there, but it was cut off and cleared by DuPont. Nordiques come over the line. Peter Stastny around Potvin, and his shot was blocked by Bill Smith. Ford Lane banks one ahead to Bourne, who tips it into center ice. Carrion back on the Quebec defense. Carrion is across the line, went for the slap shot, and Potvin slowed him up. Ford Lane, in the meantime, has fed it to Bossy. It bounced off the boards behind it, then Paymont moves in. Smith the save, and he covers up in the puck. Quebec gets a break, but unable to capitalize. And now a little scuffle at the side of the Islander goal. A break in the action. The score, New York Islanders 2, Quebec Nordiques 1.
What makes NEWFM different? This, the NEWFM record collection. More than 15,000 albums. NEWFM plays hundreds of great rock songs every day from this music library. Classic rock. Plus tomorrow's best rock today. NEWFM. For 15 years around the clock, it's been 102.7 rock. Tomorrow's best rock today on NEWFM. Hear the difference.
A well-deserved round of applause for Gord Lane as he goes back to the Islanders bench. A well-deserved rest. A chant in the building, Gordy. Nice to see him recognized for his efforts and his contributions.
And just trying to find us as we scan around the building. There's a lot of people here, but I didn't see where we are. Did you?
Just as well.
Probably.
We're sitting in section, what number is this?
I don't have any earthly idea.
302.
Gallard wheels in over the Quebec line with a quick shot. Bouchard stuck the left pad in front of it. Brent Sutter trying to put it out in front of the net. Now he does, and it was knocked down. Cleared to the near side, held in by Caller, went right to the stick of Rochefort. Rochefort sends Aubrey into center ice. Aubrey left side to Tardif. Tardif chased to the corner by Morrow. The puck loose back of the net. Billy Carroll trying to tie up his man, Paymont. Tardif and Morrow bumping together. McEwen comes back in the net. 3 Nordiques back of the Islander goal, jabbing at the puck. And the point man starting to move in, but it's Morrow clearing it to the left side for Caller. Caller put it right out in front. Paymont shot. Smith the save, the rebound, and it was ball wide by Tardif. Now Aubrey works it around to the far side, but Caller was there. Quebec getting some chances, but unable to cash them in. Bouchard sweeps it around behind the net right to Billy Carroll. Carroll unable to come off the boards. Brent Sutter backs in as well, and we'll get a face-off to the left of Daniel Bouchard. Billy Carroll with his arms wrapped around one of the Nordiques. Now everybody converges. The series moves to Quebec City on Saturday night and again next Tuesday. Nothing further develops here, so we get a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2, Quebec 1.
Aqueduct Racetrack has a special free offer for you horse players. Call this toll-free number and we'll send you a coupon good for 1 free grandstand admission, plus free parking and a free program. Call now for a free grandstand admission, free parking and program. Call 1-800-228-3535. Aqueduct, where New Yorkers play to win.
First period, Jiggs offside. Quebec twice, Islanders once. Icings, they each had 1. Quebec was better in the face-off, 15-12 over the Islanders in the face-off department. Not many teams can best the Islanders in face-off.
Now we watch Wally Weir dumping it into the Islanders zone. Quebec had a pretty good first period for themselves. Skated much better tonight than they did in the first game on Tuesday.
And they're trying to open things up here a little bit in the second period.
Now Tonelli unable to move in around Pichette. Nystrom comes over, dug the puck off the boards. Unable to center. Bouchard cleared it ahead for Pichette. Now to Goulet. Goulet to Cloutier on right wing. Al Cloutier centers. Here's Wally Weir in deep. Fires one off the stick hand of Phil Smith. They knock it out of the air right on the doorstep. The referee Wick says high stick. Face-off comes outside the blue line.
No question in the eyes of Ron Wicks, the referee. The puck clearly high in the air above everybody's shoulders, batted down. It did not go in the net, but it still is a stoppage of play. Quebec batting the puck out of the air. Billy Smith getting a little extra work here in the opening stages of the second period. Andy Caller, an errant pass. Billy Smith, what a save. Morrow trying to get to the puck. As Tardif, number 8, had a good opportunity to put it in, but the puck rolled off his stick. There's Billy Smith making the save. There's the high stick as number 16, Michel Goulet, knocks the puck out of the air over his shoulders, stopped the play.
Now it's Potvin moving it up left wing to Bourne. That's into center ice. Across the Quebec line, played it to Trottier. Ryan Trottier out of the behind the net to Bossy, to Bourne. Bouchard the save, the rebound. It's loose. Trottier in. Can't get a stick on it. And the Nordiques move it up ahead quickly for Peter Stastny. Over the Islander line, chased wide by Potvin. Stastny tried to cut to the inside and dumped it into the corner. This is Gord Lane. Lane to Bossy. Bossy around the check of Peter Stastny. Over the Quebec line. Walks in around Terrion. Goes back to the net. Went to center one. It's loose in front. Held in by Potvin to the blue line to Lane, and it hopped off Gordy's stick. Lane trying to tie it up on the boards and succeeds. 12-19 remaining second period here at the Coliseum. It has been Wayne Merrick and Mike Bossy with the Islander goals. Tardif has scored for Quebec.
Number 24, he leaves the ice. A little note on him before tonight's game. In the playoffs, as you see Peter Stastny leaving the ice. Gordy Lane has the highest plus-minus average on the New York Islanders. He has +10. Clark Gillies +7, Dwayne Sutter +7, and Butch Goring +6.
You had those numbers audited by anyone?
Not yet.
Might be an idea. No, I'm just kidding. Goring, Gillies, and Dwayne Sutter, the forward line. It is McEwen and Morrow on the Islander defense. Amon is out there along with Aubray and Tardif for Quebec. Morrow came in from the blue line. The puck up in the air was knocked down. Clark Gillies and Rochefort battling one another for control of it. Goring picked it up and got it back to Morrow. His shot right on. Bouchard knocked it away from Dwayne Sutter, who was screening him. Amon on the right wing boards. Long pass out of the reach of Tardif. Line back forward is Morrow. He'll let McEwen pick it up. Mike McEwen up the middle to Goring. Two men back. Goring right side to Dwayne Sutter. Across the line, back to Goring. Goring unable to get it to Dwayne Sutter. Takes it off the boards now. Played it back in the net. Here's Dwayne Sutter. Out to McEwen, and rifled one wide. Comes off the boards and out into center ice. Chasing it is Morrow. That's Tardif moving in for Quebec, forcing Morrow to turn. Morrow to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter knocked it away from Cloutier. Backing up is Bichette. He plays it over to Rochefort as the Quebec defense. Now to Bichette, and he almost handed it to Goring. Instead, it ends up deep in the Islander zone. Kenny Morrow being chased by Cloutier. That's Hunter with the puck. Dale Hunter centers, cut off by McEwen. Mike McEwen sends Tonelli down the left side. John Tonelli over the Quebec line, being held up in the play, managed to control the puck. Now runs into Terrien. It's knocked down. There's Hunter and Tonelli fighting for it. Merrick dug it off the boards. Gave it to Nystrom. A backhander is cleared aside by Bouchard. Out comes Goulet. Goulet across the Islander line. Went to the left side. Fired one off the glove of Bill Smith. Merrick fires it all the way down into the Quebec zone. It'll be wide of Bouchard. That'll be an icing against the New York Islanders. 10:29 left in the second period. The score, Islanders 2, Quebec 1.
In Atlantic City, there are 8 hotel casinos. And then there's the Golden Nugget. There is no hotel casino in the world like the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City. You really have to see it to believe it.
Play underway in the Islander territory. Ryan Trottier sends Merrick in on the right wing side. Over to Nystrom, and the pass out of his reach. Nystrom now, round behind the net. Merrick will pick it up in the corner. Wayne Merrick dumps it around to the far side. That's Tonelli with it. John Tonelli centered. Nystrom unable to tip it by Bouchard. He was checked by Weir at the last second, and Cloutier dropped it into center where Merrick knocked it down. Goulet trying to send Cloutier over the Islander line. It's cleared by Langevin. Up the right side comes Bossy. Bossy moves in, shoots wide of Bouchard. Tonelli on the left side, in front to Merrick. His drive rippled the mesh. Back of the net, that's Bossy, unable to put it in front cleanly. Cleared now by Hunter, and there'll be a penalty against Wally Weir. Smith is back still in the Islander goal, and now as Goulet got control of the puck, play is called, and Weir will go to the penalty box. 9:37 left in the second period. A break in the action with the score. Islanders 2, Quebec 1.
This is the oil that saves you gas, but it does more. It can take you
from New York
to London,
to Paris,
To Sweden.
to Tokyo,
To Hollywood.
and back to New York.
25,000 miles without an oil change. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
Islanders get another power play opportunity. Wally Weir gets a hooking penalty at 10:23. Padres 6, Mets nothing. I don't want to see that. I like the 5-4 last night. You were in San Diego doing the game, Jiggs McDonald, and our Mets, my Mets,
Our Mets.
Yeah, because that's right. You're really involved now. 5-4. Must have been a good baseball game.
It was a bad baseball game for about the first 4 innings, and then it settled down and became a thriller. I wasn't there for the end of it, unfortunately.
You had to leave to get back here. Oh, you've been having a lot of fun on airplanes.
Oh, it's been great. Oh, that's great. I'm still up there somewhere buzzing back and forth. And they go down today, but yesterday, last night, first win in about 10 games at San Diego.
Good for them. Many more, I hope.
Well, we watched the Islander power play get broken up, and Rochefort fired a long shot from the blue line. Potvin wheels from back of the net. Trache up the left boards, took the pass. Moved around Hickey, gave it to Bourne, who fanned on his pass. It's taken by Trache, comes in over the line. Played it to the open wing, a race for it. Dupont trying to knock it away from Bourne, did, but put it into the Islander players' bench. So they'll face off to the right of Daniel Bouchard. 1:27 left in Weir's penalty, 9:04 remaining in the second period. We're going to go to Chicago for an update on action there.
Glenn Sharpley has scored. First period, 18-28. Let's take a look at Chicago. One-time Minnesota North Star. There he is, number 7, gets his own rebound. Arms in the air. Glenn Sharpley will take another look at it from 3 angles. We've seen one. Here's the second one. Look at the Vancouver Canucks. They all avoid the puck carrier. Sharpley, as he gets his own rebound and puts it in. Here's Chicago keeping the puck in. There's Sharpley turning Brodeur. One-time Islander makes the save, but not on the rebound. 1-0 for Chicago.
Now here's Persson testing Bouchard on the glove side, and Daniel up with the catching mitt quickly.
A good save by Bouchard. The tendency for a goaltender in that situation, Jiggs, would be to pull up a little bit, start to stand up straight. Bouchard, look at him, he stays low, and if he does not stay low, the puck goes in under his catching mitt, and it would be another Islander goal. Good stop as we see Stefan Persson release a quick slap shot. Bouchard makes the catch. Good stop by Dan Bouchard.
He dropped about 10 pounds with that virus. They thought it was food poisoning originally. It turned out to be a virus. I'll give you the name of the restaurant that he uses here in Long Island. He's getting some of that 10 pounds back. No, I won't either. Persson to Potvin out in front. Bossy tipped it to Bourne. Bob Bourne back to Persson from the point. His drive was tipped. Bouchard down, reached up to grab it. And Bourne was dragged down by Pichette. Some words exchanged, but nothing more. 55 seconds left in Weir's hooking penalty.
Dan Bouchard down on the ice, on his knees, groping, looking for the puck. It deflects, and it's high over his head. He managed just to reach up and pluck it out of the air. It was coming down behind him.
You probably know his favorite chef here on the island. You know Julio? Oh, really? Julio who? Julio Cesare. There, we got it in. Shame on us, right? Trache winning the draw here to Gillies, and then it was cleared down the ice by Rochefort. 48 seconds remaining, and Weir's penalty as Potvin moves it up the boards to Trache. Trache to Bossy. Gillies open on the left side. Bossy elects to dump it around the board. Bouchard didn't cut it off. Here's Trache in after it. Lost it to DuPont. Ersan comes over to hold it at the blue line. Now to Bossy. Unable to set up Trache, and DuPont at least golfs it down into the Islander territory. Potvin has to go back. Quebec in the middle of a change as Potvin fed it to Persson. Dennis to Trache, to Gillies, broken up at the blue line. Potvin with it outside the point. He was bumped by Hickey. Trache couldn't handle the puck. And Hickey knocked down, still managed to clear it into the Islander zone. Gillies drops it to Persson. The Islander power play fails on its third attempt as Wally Weir is back on. Trache back of the Quebec goal. Unable to center it out in front. Rochefort and Trache in a battle for it. Gillies comes in as well. And the puck finally frozen for a face-off. And again, they come in for a little shoving after the whistle. A break in the action. 7:25 remaining in the second period. The score, New York Islanders 2, Quebec Nordiques 1. That refreshment myself. Cocktail hour, it's called.
Oh, really? You mean West Coast cocktail hour or East Coast?
Whatever.
Or anywhere in between.
I'm not particular. Tardif cleared it out into center ice, and this is Paymont leading the Nordiques over the line. O'Bray cut to the left side. Paymont couldn't get the puck to him as McEwen chased him around behind the net. Now it's centered, comes back to the blue line, and Terrien dumped it to the corner. O'Bray to Tardif. Tardif trying to come out in front. Boring chased him to the corner. Tardif pulled it off the boards. The puck loose, picked up by Morrow. Eddie Morrow lugs it into center ice. Across the Quebec line. Let a shot go, and it was just wide. There's Wayne Sutter moving it after it. Sutter rolled it round behind the net. It was cleared by Terrien to Paymont. Will Paymont feeds it to O'Bray. O'Bray to Tardif. He's over the line. Two men back. O'Bray blasts one wide of the goal. That's Tardif trying to come out of the corner. Morrow chased him to the boards. The puck loose. Paymont centers. Peter Stastny in after it, but it's picked up by Dwayne Sutter. Ahead to Caller. And there's Caller working on Terrien as he comes over the line. Fires one. Bouchard the save. There's Terrien. Now to Weir. Off the boards instead to Peter Stastny. Peter and Anton Stastny move over the line together. Peter Stastny coming in on the left wing. Chased wide by Lane, and Potvin has it back in the net. Up the right wing side to Merrick. Wayne Merrick, long pass. Knocked out of the air by John Tonelli, and he rolled it in around Pichette. Merrick and Tonelli on top of Pichette in a hurry. The puck went loose. And this is Rochefort. 5:50 remaining in the second period. Rochefort to Peter Stastny, to Marion on the right side. Back to Peter Stastny. Walks right in, shoots, he scores! Peter Stastny, and a pretty goal has tied it for the Quebec Nordiques. That line has not seen much ice time in the second period. But when they got out there together, they moved it around well.
Number 26, you look at him there. We'll see him again. Peter Stastny. There's the play that sprung him loose. Merrick moves quickly to him, can't catch him. Lane moved over, but Stastny, his quick move. Peter Stastny puts the puck in behind Billy Smith, his 6th goal of the playoffs. He leads the Quebec Nordiques with 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. 2-2 tie. Islanders make a mistake. They can score right there. Peter Stastny takes the pass. Lane moves over to cover, but Peter Stastny has put it in behind Billy Smith, and the score is tied at 2 apiece.
Now Brent Sutter moving up the right side. Was checked by Rochefort. This is Goulet turning. Michel Goulet dumps it in right to Bill Smith. Dropped it off, played it back of his own goal. That's Persson with it now. From Persson to Billy Carroll. Carroll takes it up the left wing. Dumps one into the Quebec zone, but offside against the Islanders. 5:20 remaining in period 2.
The off-ice officials, Jiggs, again tonight from Toronto. The game timekeeper, Joe Lamontia.
He has been around the
Yes,
Toronto
he has.
Maple Leaf Gardens for many years.
Forever. Official scorer is Joe Sadler. Bev Wright is at the south end, goal judge. North end is Peter Smeaton. And the penalty timekeeper, Stan Boucher. All from Toronto. That's Maple Leaf country.
We mentioned them. The Islander off-ice officials for the regular season worked in the series between Chicago and Minnesota. They had 2 games in Chicago Stadium. Now we watch Brent Sutter deep in the Islander, or the Quebec zone, I should say. Into the corner to Caller. Caller out in front to Billy Carroll. Carroll tied up by Weir. And knocked into the boards as he cleared one back of the net and went right to Dale Hunter. Hunter lugs it up center ice. Over the Islander line. Cuts to the right side. Centered. It was cleared by Langevin. Dave Langevin unable to spring Billy Carroll. They ruled Quebec could have played it, so Bouchard comes back to the net. Left it for Weir. Off the boards, right to Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter fires one and hit the stick of Weir. Gillies picks it up. Plays it around behind the net. Here's Billy Carroll chasing it. Carroll put it back to the goal. Brent Sutter again tied up by Weir. Gillies feeds it to the blue line. McEwen winds up, shoots Bouchard up on top of the goal mouth to make the save, and he holds on. A break in the action. The score is tied. Islanders 2, Nordiques 2.
Yes. My company's operating balances don't earn a dime. What can the Bank of New York do for me?
Manage your money so it makes you money with new Check Invest.
I can't tie up operating funds.
No problem. Check Invest links a regular business checking account to a money market fund
So I earn money market interest?
automatically every day.
My bank doesn't have anything like Check Invest.
Does yours? Check Invest, the first business checking plan that manages your money so it makes you money. Only at the Bank of New York.
Horn, buzzer, and time clock. That little lever operates the time clock. It is not official. The official time clock is a stopwatch.
Peter Stastny back to Anton, and his shot was blocked, and he was filled as well by Trottier. Ryan Trottier sends Lane out of his own zone. Right side, it was intended for Bossy, but Cote caught up with it. And Cote plays it in off the boards. Here's Peter Stastny. Centers. Anton shot a dazzling stop by Smith. The Stastny's almost connected for a Quebec lead. Now it's Bourne down the left wing. Coming in on Bouchard. Bourne bothered from behind and had to hurdle over Bouchard, and there'll be a penalty to Quebec. A Quebec Nordiques draw a penalty, only the second penalty of the period, and both will have gone against Quebec as Dave Pichette goes on.
End-to-end action. What an opportunity for the Quebec Nordiques as Peter Stastny gives it to Anton all alone in front of Billy Smith. And Smith come up with his best save of the game. Islanders right back quickly. They break away. Bob Bourne. And Pichette, you see him there in the penalty box, drew a penalty, a hooking penalty, as Bourne was in all alone on Dan Bouchard.
So 3:49 left in the second period. Pichette off for hooking at 16-11. We're going to get another look at the penalty.
Let's pick up some of the action. Gordy Lane missed a bouncing puck. Peter Stastny in quickly. No stick in the hands of Potvin. There's the pass and the shot by Anton Stastny. Good stop by Billy Smith. We're going to get more penalties. Hunter involved.
Hunter and Goring moved in for the face-off, fenced a little, then sticks came up between the two. The linesman, Bozak, was waving them out, and next thing we know, Goring and Hunter had the sticks up.
Quebec penalty number 32, Dale Hunter. Islanders penalty number 91, Butch Goring. 2 minutes each for roughing.
Well, they're going to give them roughing penalties.
Hunter of the Nordiques.
He's really just interested in getting them off the ice. I can understand possibly Hunter. He's an aggressive player. Goring, that is not his case. Here's Bob Bourne going in on a breakaway. Tripped up from behind by Dave Pichette. Gets a penalty.
Brent Sutter centers for Gillies. They got the draw back to McEwen, over to Persson. Stefan Persson into Brent Sutter, back to Persson, to Brent Sutter. Moves in, center, and it was out of the reach of Dwayne Sutter again, and the puck was bouncing. McEwen to Dwayne Sutter, put it out in front, knocked out of the air by Cote. Then he was checked by Brent Sutter. Gillies and DuPont in a battle for it. It's cleared off the boards, and Hickey backhands it up into the crowd. A minute 35 left in the penalties. Penalties to Goring and Hunter do not affect the manpower situation on the ice. They only lose their services. They maintain a 6 against 5, including the goaltender, or goaltenders in this case.
See Pat Hickey, number 17, a one-time Ranger, Colorado Rocky, Toronto Maple Leaf. Back to the New York Rangers, and then as compensation, he ended up with the Quebec Nordiques. That was to satisfy the trade that brought Robbie Ftorek to the Rangers.
After Talafas had retired.
That's right, Dean Talafas retired, and the trade was made.
Pearson has given the puck to Pop, fed it to Bourne, slaps it in around the boards. Bouchard couldn't cut it off. Here's Bossy taking it off the boards. Bossy trying to slip away from Paymont, put it to the blue line, and Goulet dumped it down the right side. Over comes Pearson, now to Potvin. Potvin couldn't handle it. Bob Bourne cuts in on the left wing side. Bourne from back of the net trying to make the play. Bouchard without a stick. The puck came back to Pearson. Bouchard has recovered the stick, and the Islanders couldn't recover the puck as Goulet tipped it away from Bourne and Pearson.
Sloppy puck handling by the Islanders. They'd like to take advantage of the opportunity. They've got just under 1 minute.
This power play. Now it's Gillies over the line. Then fell. Bossy gave it to Pearson. Then Trottier, and the pass was off the mark. Trottier out of the corner. Back of the net to Bossy. Bossy takes a look. Gave it to Potvin. Now to Bossy. Cuts in to Trottier. Trottier backhanding one. It's underneath Bouchard. 32 seconds left in this power play chance.
Close call as the Islanders move in close. Trottier trying to get the puck to Clark Gillies. He was open in front of and to the left of goaltender Dan Bouchard. But a lot of falling Quebec bodies kept the puck from getting to Clark Gillies. Let's take a look at the action. Potvin to Bossy to Trottier. You see him make the pass across. Stopped in front. Gillies is then covered. To Trottier. You see him make the pass across. Stopped in front. Gillies is then covered. 32 seconds remaining on the penalty to Pichette. Hunter and Goring are in together for roughing. Pichette, a hooking penalty. He has 32 seconds remaining on that infraction.
Trottier will face off against Wilf Paymont. Nordiques got the draw, and there's Terry on. And trying to freeze it. Now it's knocked loose for Gillies. Gillies to Bossy. To the right point, this is Pearson. Over to Potvin. Potvin into Bossy, comes through in front, shoots, he scores! Bossy! A blast by Bossy from the side and to the right of Dan Bouchard. You could see Bossy yelling for the puck. He raised his stick and shouted. Here's Pearson to Potvin. Bossy was yelling for the puck. He got it, and he put it between his legs, Jiggs. Again, we pointed out that Tuesday night, 3 goals went between the legs of Dan Bouchard, and Michael Bossy has sniped to give the Islanders back their 1-goal lead. You see the sign. It says Bossy. How well it says it, and how well he does it. There he is, getting a rest. He's given his team a power play goal and a lead. You see what else was down there by the sign? The sombrero ready in case number 3 happens here tonight. But this is the second one again for Mike Bossy, his 8th of the playoffs.
He rips it in. Weir and Terrion looking on. Bossy, you could see him raise his stick and yell to Dennis Potvin. He got the puck from Potvin immediately. He moved in towards the center of the ice and let it go.
So it is 3-2 Islanders as Peter Stastny leads the Nordiques to the Islander line, then blasted one. Smith down to make the stop. Lane ties up Marion Stastny as Pinelli tried to go back to the net. Couldn't do it. Peter Stastny unable to center it in front. Smith knocked it off his stick, and then Billy, covering the short side, was able to clear it again, and Tonelli has dumped it out into center ice. Peter Stastny stepped into Brent Sutter as Lane feeds it to Brent Sutter. Over to Dwayne Sutter, and off his stick as he was in deep. Dwayne Sutter put it out in front. Picked up by Marion Stastny. Down the right side, Tonelli chasing him. Marion Stastny fed it wide of the Islander goal, and that's Morrow with it. Up right wing, Dwayne Sutter tipped it to Brent Sutter. Trying to find Tonelli, takes the pass on the left side, goes in around behind the net. Couldn't center it. It comes back to Morrow at the right point. Now to Tonelli. John Tonelli being tied up by Weir, kicked the puck to Dwayne Sutter. He and Peter Stastny going back in the net. Dwayne Sutter put it out in front. Brent Sutter shoots, Bouchard got a piece of it. Weir unable to slap it out of the air, and then he ties up Tonelli, and Anton Stastny worked it loose for Wally Weir. Ahead to Peter Stastny across the Islander line, lost the handle, picks it up again. Right to center, wanted it stolen. Up comes Dwayne Sutter.
What a kept in by Wilson for Savard. 15 seconds left in the penalty. Wilson with a drive. It dropped the glass. What a rocket he lets go from that point. And it's cleared by Vancouver. The penalty will expire.
Well, just as you had indicated, what they were doing is putting Lysiak in that slot area. Then you have to pay attention to him, and that allowed Wilson that open shot.
He's got a rocket, too. Brodin taken in against the boards. Wilson for Chicago to Secord. 11 minutes remaining in the second period. Secord has it knocked away by Campbell. The two of them bump. Lysiak gets it. Lysiak over for Fox. He shoots it wide. Campbell picks it up. And he brings it out for Vancouver. Brodeur really came out that time to challenge Fox.
Yeah, Richard's theory is if you can make a perfect shot, you might get a goal. But if you're a little off, I'm going to stop it or it's going wide.
In other words, you have to beat Brodeur to his strength. If you've got it there, you deserve the goal.
Now Nil and Secord have sticks up. And it appears as though both are going to be going off.
But Harry, I think everybody was relieved that Fox took the shot rather than Lysiak.
Oh boy, you're right.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Chicago Stadium.
That's my team, the Islanders. They really keep things moving. This is my kind of bank, Long Island Trust. It keeps things moving, too, financing Long Island business and industry, helping to build homes, schools, and hospitals. Long Island Trust.
Nil and Secord. Secord through the elbow, and then the sticks come up, and both will draw penalties.
Well, they're a pair of tough guys, Secord and Nil, and neither one of them want to back down from each other.
Well, that's the third penalty for Secord in the hockey game. Any special people that you would like against him? I guess if you're going to have somebody, toughness against toughness.
Yeah, I don't think we should bother Secord much. I don't think you're going to get anywhere doing it. There are other players in the team that you might get somewhere doing it. It's like bothering Williams. You know, you may be playing into his strength.
Puck loose in the Chicago zone. Sharpley, who has scored the game's only goal, fighting for it along the boards with Smeel. Brodin also moves in. Finally, it's kicked into the corner for Fox. Fox for Sharpley. On the left side, Lysiak. Lysiak moving into the slot, dropping it back. Feimster back to Lysiak. A shot. Brodeur has got it.
Harry, when did you realize that he was going to be your #1 goaltender? Richard Brodeur.
He certainly showed signs of that last year, but this year he's aging it better. And we played Hanlon and Brodeur half each until Christmas, and then it was fairly clear that Richard was a better goaltender.
Well, I'm amazed how he's able to pick that puck up through the screen when it's set up. He always manages to get a toe or a glove or something on it. Well, there you are, Harry. All the people back home can see it. That you're in good hands.
Well, there was a good example there of a good play by Chicago. It was a 2-on-2, and they crossed over. And our guys were a little hesitant, and the third guy showed up, and he had all kinds of room.
We're on the second deck at Chicago Stadium, our broadcast position, which we share with our CBC French confrères. Brodin circling in the corner. He goes rink wide. 1:16 remaining in the penalties to Nil and Secord. Lead pass for Brodin. It was offside.
Harry, are the Canucks not skating as well as they were in Game 1, or is it the way the Blackhawks are playing tonight's contest?
I think it's a little of both. We're not as sharp as we've been, and they're desperate. I mean, if they lose tonight, they're in deep trouble, and they know it, and they're a good team, and they're reacting to that problem.
Harry, what's the reason for the turnaround? The Canucks only winning 10 games on the road during regular season play. You've already won 4 in the playoffs.
Well, we won 3 games. We went on a road trip and went 3 without a loss to start this whole thing off. And I guess winning becomes a habit, and so does losing, and we're in the winning one now.
Yes, indeed. The Canucks have certainly put together a string.
What do they say?
Just once in the playoffs.
Winning breeds confidence.
Murray for Bully. 9:40 remaining in the period. And what a save again by Brodeur. That quick glove hand. He snaked it out and grabbed that shot by Bully. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Chicago Stadium.
Yes. My company's operating balances don't earn a dime. What can the Bank of New York do for me?
Manage your money so it makes you money with new Check Invest.
I can't tie up operating funds.
No problem. Check Invest links a regular business checking account to a money market fund
So I earn money market interest?
automatically every day.
My bank doesn't have anything like Check Invest.
Does yours? Check Invest, the first business checking plan that manages your money so it makes you money. Only at the Bank of New York.
55 seconds left in the penalties to nil and Secord. 9:35 in the period. Again, Wilson moves to the top of that face-off circle as Savard goes in for the draw against Miner.
See, we have to get somebody out through to Wilson here, and this is tough on a 4-on-4 because we don't have that extra forward to use.
Now that winger has to cheat a little bit, kind of anticipate that draw. Oh, now they've shifted around a little.
They threw Savard and Miner out.
Miner in across the line. A shot. Bannerman kicks it to the corner. Lindgren was unable to pick it up. Back to Miner. His drive. Handled by Bannerman. Looks slipped down the ice too far for Secord, or Savard. And as Miner touches it, icing is called against Chicago.
Harry, you talked about Savard being a key to this Blackhawk Hockey Club. What did you talk about how to defense him?
We don't want him to get the puck in full flight and be able to skate through the center zone with it. And as a result, we've had usually a winger coming over and getting as close to him as they can. So we discourage them from passing the puck to him. And if he gets it, he at least has to beat that man in a hurry, and that takes away a 60-foot run at our defense.
Well, how would you rate what your club did to him in Game 1?
Excellent, and we're doing a good job tonight. He's getting a little frustrated, Savard. He's complaining at the referees, and he's taking a few hacks at our players. And he's a tough man to handle, but he's going to have to beat 19 guys that know exactly how good he is.
You know, you have to be awfully pleased with the work that Miner has done. And in fact, tonight he's spending a lot of time against Savard. It's just a gutty performance from a kid that hasn't played much, 13 games all season.
Oh, but you know, he was on our fitness test at the training camp, he was the top on our team. He's a very well-conditioned young athlete.
Back to the line for Campbell, to Hallward. Hallward almost lost it there to Lysiak. Redin comes out to help out. It goes back at the net. Lysiak whips it over on the wing. Fox circles to the other side for Feimster. Feimster gets away from Redin. Works to the corner, tried to center it. It went off Redin, back at the goal. Sharply played it around the boards for Lysiak. He's tied up by Hallward. The puck comes up along the boards for Feimster. The team's back at full strength. Now Lysiak bumps in the corner, gets it to Sharply, back to the line for Feimster. Slap shot, score!
Back at the Nassau Coliseum, getting ready for the third period. You just saw Feimster score for Chicago Blackhawks, and they lead Vancouver 2-0.
Pretty goal. Good shot by the point man, Feimster, beating Richard Brodeur on the left side. Good pressure by Chicago.
Looks like a tough-nosed series.
Oh, wow, is it ever like this hockey game here tonight? We've seen great end-to-end action in the second period. Everything seems to be rather close. Second period, offsides, only one. That was the Islanders. Icings, they had one apiece. Face-offs, the Islanders out
They lost to Quebec in face-offs by 1, 11-12.
And the third period is underway with Cloutier coming to the Islander line and was knocked off his stick and cleared by Langevin. Nystrom unable to knock it away from Terrien. Here's Langevin up the left side. It was stolen by Cloutier. Buddy Cloutier moves in. Smith had to jump off his skates to make the save and then hold the puck for a face-off. 3-2 Islanders, 23 seconds into the final period. And the face-off will be to the right of goaltender, or to the left, excuse me, of goaltender Bill Smith. We go to Quebec City for a game on Saturday night, and again next Tuesday. Both of those games on the Islanders' regular television.
Jiggs, we saw Andy Caller at the end of the second period go in all alone. Bouchard makes a great save off him. Caller is the only Islander forward without a goal in the 82 playoffs.
Langevin was just dragged down. The puck came to the side of the Islander net. Hunter feeds it back to Terrien. From the blue line, his shot sailed wide. Nystrom takes it off the right wing boards. Nystrom into center, then over the Quebec line. It was poked off his stick, and he was high hurdled. Here's Merrick with the puck. Wayne Merrick chased to the corner by Cloutier. Got it to Nystrom. Nystrom around Terrien's check. Tommy Nystrom turns. Laid it back to the goal to Merrick. Merrick to Tonelli, and it was knocked away from him. Pearson can't hold it in at the blue line. Langevin will cover up at center ice. A minute gone in the final period. Langevin sends Nystrom over the Quebec line. Into John Tonelli. If Pichette bump on the boards. Merrick trailed the play, put it out in front, out of the reach of Nystrom, however. And coming back on the right side, Marion Stastny. That's to the left to get away from Potvin. Winds up, shoots Smith the save, and Potvin was there to pick up the rebound.
Islanders get away with one there, Jiggs. They backed right in on Billy Smith and allowed Stastny to walk straight in and blast one. Good stop by Billy Smith.
Now DuPont waits for his teammates to get back. Didn't wait long enough before shooting it high in the air into the Islanders' zone. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Islanders and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Islanders and SportsChannel is prohibited.
Did you know that was the first time in the 82 playoffs the Islanders have scored 2 goals in 1 period? Brian Trottier with Jimmy Pickard heading for the Islander dressing room. That's a good sign in the sense that if it was Ron Waske, we'd have to consider it medical. With Jimmy Pickard, it would have to be equipment.
The Islanders have scored more than 2 goals in a period.
No, I mean one player.
Oh.
I failed to mention the fact that it was Bossy had 2 goals, and he's the only player in this playoff to get 2 goals in 1 period.
Now here's Bossy looking for the third, centered, and it was fired wide by Brett Sutter. Up they come. Anton Stastny leading the rush. Marion trailing. Anton checked at the Islander line. Gord Lane moves it out into center. Bichette forced to turn, then was knocked down. He got the puck to Marion Stastny. Across the line, this is Peter Stastny, unable to cut in front of the net. Anton centered one, and that was broken up. The puck loose in the Islander zone. Bourne and Marion Stastny to the boards together. Lane got it to the line, held in by Anton Stastny. That cut him off the boards. The puck went right to Smith and fed it off for Potvin. Up the middle to Bourne, and just out of his reach, they ruled the Nordiques could have played it. The Islanders elect to go for a player change. Wayne Sutter is out on the ice along with Goring and Gillies. Meantime, Terrien is centered. Left side, this is Tardif. Takes a shot, then Morrow rode him into the corner. Aubrey went to center the puck. It came to the side of the net and cleared by Mike McEwen. This is Gillies to the right side. Wayne Sutter had it knocked off his stick, controlled by Morrow. Checked from behind by Tardif, but it was cleared into center. Aubrey for Quebec. Morrow takes him out of the play. Danny Morrow shot into center ice. It hit Weir. Goring ties up Tardif, and here's Morrow to Goring too far. Terrien has it for Quebec. Bichette is receiving treatment at the Quebec bench. He limped off after being turned around by Brent Sutter a couple of moments ago. In the meantime, we watch Tardif move into the Islander zone, trying to set up Aubrey. Centers, broken up. Here's Wally Weir with a shot. Smith the save, and he holds on. Weir cruising in from the blue line through a screen, and Bill Smith hung right with the puck. There's a break in the action. 16:37 left to play in regulation time. The score, Islanders 3, Quebec 2.
You know what you could do with Mobile One?
You can now drive from New York to Los Angeles without an oil change. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles without an oil change. That's what you can do with Mobil 1.
Billy Smith doing his thing, doing the thing that he does best, stop pucks. He has made 2 outstanding saves here in the third period, the early stages of the third period, as the Quebec Nordiques try to tie up the score. They're trailing the Islanders by 1.
Bob Bourne out with Wayne Merrick and Bob Nystrom. Bourne, he elected to freeze it on the boards, had Hunter and Kluche right there with him.
You see him look around before he froze the puck, wanted to see what his options were. They were very few. Really, there were none. Freeze the puck. Coaches tell players that. You do not have an out. Don't give the puck up in your own end of the ice. I'd sooner have you ice it or freeze it. Don't make a hoper pass, they call it. Pass it and hope that one of your teammates get it.
Merrick just won the draw, got the puck to Nystrom around the Langevin. Ahead for Bob Bourne off his stick. Merrick chasing he and Pichette across the line. Here's Bourne with a drive. He scores! Bob Bourne blasted by Bouchard. Islanders lead 4-2.
I'll bet Bobby Bourne was going for between the legs of Dan Bouchard. Bouchard was moving to the left. Bourne shot it, and puck went into the lower right-hand corner. Here's Bob Bourne. Merrick doing a good job on Pichette. Merrick to Bourne, and watch the shot. You see Dan Bouchard, he started to move to his left, and Bourne shot it to his right and beat him. Bobby Bourne getting his 6th goal of the playoffs, gives the Islanders a 2-goal lead.
Assist to Merrick and Nystrom on the goal at 3:46.
It's hard work, and it's worth it. The sign says it right.
Now Al Arbor has Brent Sutter centering for Kaller and Bossy. Ryan Trottier has not returned from the Islander dressing room. Kaller and Bossy, along with Sutter in the Quebec zone. The puck shot around the boards. Here's Brent Sutter in after it. Worked it back of the goal. Dupont knocked it away from Kaller. Lane turns at the point, lets a shot go, and Bouchard just got a piece of it.
And Lane took a tremendous check from number 20, Anton Stastny. An elbowing penalty coming to Stastny. He could have got it charging. A break in the action to score the Islanders 4, the Nordiques 2.
Showtime Pay TV is total entertainment. 25 hours a day, and you're going to need every minute of it. Packed with blockbuster movies, Broadway shows, entertainment specials, late-night features, outrageous comedy, and no commercials. Showtime, we're tuned into you 25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
Anton Stastny gets a penalty. A charging pen. No, it was not. It was an elbowing penalty, excuse me. Gordy Lane holding his cool. Stastny came a long way. Lane had hit Anton Stastny in the Islanders' end of the ice at the beginning of the third period. It was a retaliatory measure by Stastny, Anton Stastny. And Ronnie Wicks caught him doing it and waved him to the penalty box.
The Quebec bench gave Wicks quite an earful, and he went over to calm them down. Trottier is out there with Kaller and Bossy as we watch Persson try to feed it in the Quebec zone. It's cleared down the ice. 4-2 now. Little breathing room after Bourne's goal at 3:46. Still 2-0 in Chicago. The Blackhawks over Vancouver. Mike Bossy on right wing across the Quebec line. Right into Rochefort. The puck cleared around the boards. Kaller got it to Trottier. Ryan Trottier check. Here's Persson holding it in. Persson to Potvin. To Trottier over to Bossy. Bossy in front of Kaller. Tipped it high and over top of the crossbar. Ote fires it to the line. Held in by Persson. To Kaller. Anders Kaller's shot went off Dupont. Knocked out of the air and fired down the ice, this time by Pat Hickey.
Fine passing by the Islanders. Kaller's shot a little high.
Now the Islanders start out. Persson cut it to Trottier. Over the line, the pass to Bossy was in his skates. Bossy in front to Trottier. Turns, shoots. Bouchard, another dazzling stop, and the Nordiques have cleared it into center ice. 58 seconds left in the penalty to Anton Stastny. Gerson, fed it to Papin. Up the middle, Papin, right side to Gillies. Gillies works on Hunter, fired the puck wide. It comes off the boards to Papin. Denny Papin into the corner to Goring. Goring puts it back in the net. That's Bossy in after it. Hunter beat him to it. Slapped it high around the boards. McEwen knocked it down. Couldn't pick it up again. This is Goulet over the Islander line. A shot high and wide of the target. Bounces to the line, held in by Hunter. Well, Hunter just elects to dump it into the corner. And that's Papin with it back in the net. Denny Papin lunks it up the middle. And away from Cote, around the check, and then reaching for it. Pat Hickey forces the Islanders to go back. McEwen gave the puck to Goring. Now to Gillies. Clark Gillies to Dwayne Sutter. Around Rochefort. Dwayne Sutter with a shot that sailed wide. Goring with the rebound. Back of the net for Dwayne Sutter. Sutter chased to the corner. Bichette hacking at him. Dwayne Sutter works it around to the opposite corner. In comes McEwen to pick it up. Mike McEwen around the boards. It got away from Goring. Dwayne Sutter takes it down to Goring. James at 6 aside. Goring in the corner. Back to the point to McEwen to Gillies. Clark Gillies tried to set up Goring, but that was blocked. Armand Rochefort carries it out of his own zone. Rochefort at center ice. Right side to Peter Stastny. Peter Stastny sends Marion over the line on the right side. Marion Stastny chased back in the net by McEwen. Centered, but Morrow broke it up. Morrow to Tonelli. Comes back to Bichette. Around the boards. Bill Smith turned it to the corner for Nystrom, who's out with Merrick and Tonelli. Bob Nystrom being bothered by Peter Stastny. Now Merrick and Weir trying to freeze it on the boards. It's kicked loose. A little battle going on at the side of the Islander net. Bill Smith having some problems with one of the Nordiques, but Nystrom is broken loose into center ice. He and Tonelli over the line. Nystrom was checked. Tonelli picks it up. Centers. It's blocked by Pichette. Dave Pichette up the middle. Here's Peter Stastny across the Islander line. The pass to Marion Stastny didn't work. Lord Lane gave it to Papin. Now to John Tonelli. To Wayne Merrick. Merrick comes to center ice. Chase to the left wing. The pass to Tonelli. Comes over the line. Gave it to Lane from the right point. That's the shot goal. Bouchard the save. The rebound is loose. Tonelli put it out in front. Nystrom can't knock it away from Paymont. Lane backing up. He's giving it to Papin. Papin over to Gord Lane. Lane up the left wing. Nystrom ran into the check of Terrion, and here's Aubrey. Aubrey up the left side. Tardif to Paymont. Lost it at the Islander line. It's controlled by Lane. To Caller. And there's Caller ridden off the puck by Tardif's check. Nordiques just fire it back into the Islander zone. That's Denny Papin with it. Papin to Lane. Gord Lane checked at his own blue line. Tardif's centering attempt is stolen by Billy Carroll, who gave it to Caller. Red Sutter, Carroll, and Caller for the Islanders. The puck stolen at the line, and Caller, a neat move to take Tardif out of the play. Tardif thought there should have been a penalty. Lane has dumped it down into the Quebec zone, and the Islanders are called for icing the puck. 11:33 remaining in regulation time. A break in the action with the score. Islanders 4, Quebec 2.
Well, excuse-moi, can you spare $5.15 for a cup of coffee?
Think prices are high now. Wait till the year 2000.
Great! Bologna's on sale.
This is a real steal. $4,100 a month with a view.
Well, there's help. Chemical Bank's IRA. You'll get a giant tax break now and tax-deferred interest. So someday you could retire a millionaire. After all, you'll need it.
Okay, $31,000, but I'm practically giving it away.
Chemicals Tax Shelter IRA.
Sellout crowd here at the Nassau Coliseum. You see the message. There will be no hockey hotline following tonight's game. Instead, we will rejoin the Vancouver-Chicago game live from Chicago Stadium at the end of this hockey game here at Nassau Coliseum. Ron Whitman and Gary Dornhofer. Gerhard Otto Dornhofer.
Philadelphia Flyer. Boston Bruin at one time and a master of all kinds of different things. Had a skate company going for a while and excellent golfer. I don't know how his game is now, but at one time he was a teaching pro with a Canadian card, as there are several ex-hockey players in that category.
Now Trottier springs Nystrom on the right side. Over the Quebec line, the pass to Bourne in front, shoots. blocked as it hit Fischler. And the Nordiques move it to the left wing for Goulet. Michel Goulet across the Islander line, works it around the boards. Trottier will pick it up on the left side, sends Bourne into center ice. One man back, that's Dupont. Here's Bourne with a shot. Bouchard, the pad save. Nice from a backhander, he scores! Fischler victimized as the Islanders lead it 5-2.
Hustle, the name of the game. Bourne was the guy that sprung loose on a perfect pass from Brian Trottier out of his own end. Bourne's shot stopped by Dan Bouchard. Bouchard should have controlled the rebound better. He had a chance to go for it. Bichette, let's look here. As Bourne streaks down the left side, there's the shot. Bouchard made the save. He should have gone out and cleared it. Bichette went to get it, and Bobby Nystrom beat him to it with a backhand shot again between the legs of Dan Bouchard. Let's look again from another angle. There's the save. Bouchard should have been moving out to get the puck. Billy Smith would have had that one. And there's the backhand shot by Nystrom through the legs of Bouchard. The Islanders 5-2 now. Their second straight goal here in the third period.
Assist to Trottier along with Bourne at 8:59 of the final period. We watch Gord Lane send Caller over the Quebec line. The play broken up. Marion Stastny hits the center ice stripe. Over the Islander line, gave it to Peter Stastny, lets the shot go. It was tipped by Marion, but wide. Lane tied him up, and Bossy starts out. Lost control of it. And his own motion, and Potvin takes the shot at the blue line. Here's Caller moving in. Caller to Bossy. Right Bossy around a couple of checks. Trottier hit the post. It's on the doorstep, ends up back of the goal, and the Nordiques move it up left wing. Out into center ice they come. The pass to Peter Stastny over the Islander line. Peter Stastny moved in. Lane got a piece of it, and then Smith reaches out, blocks it, and covers up.
Fine move by Gord Lane as he helps Billy Smith out. Smith down on the ice. He's got the puck. A break in the action. The score, the Islanders 5. The Nordiques 2.
What makes NEWFM different? This, the NEWFM record collection. More than 15,000 albums. NEWFM plays hundreds of great rock songs every day from this music library. Classic rock. Plus tomorrow's best rock today. NEWFM. For 15 years around the clock, it's been 102.7 rock. Tomorrow's best rock today on NEWFM. Hear the difference.
Here we take a look at the action now. Gordy Lane lifts the stick of Stastny. That's Anton Stastny. Goes back out to take a check as Terrion moves in. Smith's got the puck. Lane takes a tremendous jolt as he goes out to help Billy Smith. Smitty hangs on the puck. What an uproar here in the Coliseum on the Matrix board. They had just shown 2 full Stanley Cups, and creeping into the side of the picture, a piece of another one.
That was cute and really well done.
Very innovative.
Oh, yeah. It sure got the crowd excited, didn't it? Goring has dumped the puck into center ice. Raymond, in the meantime, sends Tardif within a shot. And off the stick of Smith and into the crowd.
He's unbeatable tonight, Billy Smith. You see him standing up, making the saves, challenging the shooter.
We'll take a look at the Quebec Nordiques players bench. Down 5-2. But the series moves to their building, where they were really tough against the Islanders this season. And last, for that matter, with the acquisition of Daniel Bouchard. They upended the Islanders when they went in there for the first time a year ago. Well, we have this break. Let's wish well to a couple of people. A good Islander fan, Sherry Blank, is in South Nassau Community Hospital. Doesn't miss very many games. We wish her well. Hope she's on the mend. And Irv came by, and I guess you noticed that Sharon isn't here tonight. She's got a bad cold. Sharon Weinbrand is missing this hockey game. There's another rarity in itself.
People that night after night after night come by to say hello on their way to their seats. When they're missing, we notice.
And Goring slapping at the puck. It comes up the left side. Trottier has Wayne Sutter open on the right wing. The pass on his stick. Wayne Sutter can't get it back to Trottier. It was hauled down by O'Brien. Bouchard back in the net, victimized by Trottier. Weird. Nicely cleared up the right side, and here comes Paymont. Paymont put it right in the skates of Trottier, now to Goring. Goring carries over the Quebec line. Butch Goring the shot. Bouchard got a piece of that, and Terrion clears it outside the Quebec line to McEwen. Now to Morrow. Morrow fires one around the boards. Gillies comes in after it. Gillies back to McEwen, who cleared it to the corner, but that's Wally Weir starting out. Weir up the left side. Goulet was checked. Wayne Sutter controls it. Sends Gillies over the Quebec line. Mark Gillies, a shot. Bouchard, the stick save. Gillies with his own rebound, worked it around to the far corner, but that's Tardif for Quebec. Tardif ridden off the play by Merrick. Gillies plays it back into the zone to Langevin. A little less than 9 minutes remaining in regulation time. Islanders with a 3-goal lead. Here is Merrick. Right wing to Nystrom. Bounced off the boards behind him, and Merrick will pick it up at center ice. Wayne Merrick to Dave Langevin. Langevin snaps one around the boards in the Quebec zone. Nystrom in after it. Didn't get there in time, and the Nordiques moved to center, but Merrick was back to break up the play. That's Persson off the boards for Nystrom. Now to Merrick. Langevin in the meantime gave it to Persson. Back to Dave Langevin. Islanders in control of the game and the puck. Tonelli to Nystrom. Nystrom over the line. Can't get around Rochefort. Dale Hunter cleared it into center ice. Nystrom and Langevin back together, and it's Langevin forcing Quebec to go back. Rochefort comes out in front of his own goal. Played it up left wing. Goulet to Hunter. Dale Hunter over the Islander line. Hunter to Goulet. Goulet chased to the boards by Persson's check, and Langevin pried the puck loose and gave it to Merrick. Merrick to Nystrom. Nystrom to John Tonelli. It's off his stick and into the crowd. We have 7:51 remaining in regulation time. A break in the action with the score. New York Islanders 5, Quebec Nordiques 2.
In Atlantic City, there are 8 hotel casinos. And then there's the Golden Nugget. There is no hotel casino in the world like the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City. You really have to see it to believe it.
Brian Trotier's assist on Bob Nystrom's goal ties him with first place in the NHL scoring. Joe Mullen, Barry Peterson, and Bernie Federko. And they are all eliminated.
Yeah. The camera we had a look at is a movie camera as they get ready for the NHL highlight film, Stanley Cup 82. Potvin works the puck around the boards in his own zone. Trottier gave it to Bossy. Bossy at center ice, fired it away from Marion Stastny. It got away from Bouchard, who had gone back of the net. Bichette ridden off the puck by Bourne, and here's Trottier to Bossy. Bossy trying to slip around the check. Back to the point for Lane. Lord Lane works the boards, getting it to Brian Trottier, to Bob Bourne. Bourne to Trottier. Trottier from back of the net, out in front. Bossy was checked by Bichette and knocked it down. Now Bichette comes up the left wing side. Into center ice. Over the Islander line, Lane takes care of him, and Potvin picks up the puck. Potvin around to Brian Trottier. Ahead to Bourne, back to Trottier. Trottier up the right wing to Bossy. He's being bothered by Rochefort as he cleared it to the blue line. Meantime, the Stastny's moving across the line. Anton upended, got it to the point, broken up, cleared by Dwayne Sutter. Pokes it in over the Quebec line, races after it with Rochefort. Took him off the puck, then couldn't control it, and Rochefort upended from behind by Dwayne Sutter. Goring goes in after it. Goring in front to Gillies, and it was tipped by Bouchard. Here's McEwen with a shot that sails wide of the target. Out into center ice and picked up by Morrow with 6.5 minutes to play. Morrow to Mike McEwen. McEwen to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter back to Gillies, to the point to McEwen. McEwen's shot was blocked. Brought out by Paymont. Left side to Basil McRae. Back to Paymont. Paymont. Chase to the corner. McRae bumped there by Morrow. Puck finally frozen for a face-off with 6:07 left in regulation time, and a break in the action. The score, Islanders 5, Quebec 2.
The challenge to create a system of total new car protection. A system that begins with rust-proofing and then goes far beyond that. A system of total car protection, from the elements to car thieves. From dents to coffee spills. Introducing the only total protection system for your new car. The Protector. Don't leave your dealer without it.
Stern coach. He's down 3 goals. 6:07 remaining in the third period. A lot of catching up to do. They're going to have to open the gates, open them wide, and try and get a couple back here in a hurry.
But the Islanders got the draw, and it's brought out by Mike McEwen. McEwen at center with a shot that went wide of the net. Nystrom in after the puck. He's checked by Paymont. McRae unable to move it out. Here is John Tonelli. Tonelli across to Wayne Merrick. Merrick chased out of the play. Here is Fischler trying to go back of the net with it. Around to the left side to McRae. McRae's pass broken up. McEwen dumped it back in over the line. A delayed offside. Negated as Weir brought it out to center ice. Long shot scooped up by Bill Smith, who plays it to the left wing for John Tonelli. Tonelli rigged wide to Nystrom. Nystrom over the line. Weir came back to knock it away from him. Nystrom will pick it up again. Nystrom into the corner for Wayne Merrick. Merrick tied up by Weir. The puck goes loose. Nystrom chasing it. He and Paymont end up on the boards together. The puck, however, was not frozen, and Pat Hickey clears one to center ice. We have 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third period as Persson gave it to Langevin. Langevin to Nystrom, bumped into Cote at center ice. Alain Cote got away from Nystrom. The pass on to the stick of Aubrey, moves into the Islanders' zone. Aubrey chased to the boards, picked up by Tardif. Tardif checked by Anders Kaller. Now Billy Carroll moves into the corner. The puck came loose and controlled by Kaller. Kaller right side for Nystrom. Again, I remind you, there will be no hockey hotline following the game tonight. Instead, we will go to Chicago Stadium for conclusion of that game, Vancouver and the Blackhawks. Bossy put it out in front, but out of the reach of Kaller, and Cote has sent Aubrey into center ice with 4.5 minutes to go. Into the Islanders' zone. This is Cote on right wing. A long, low shot from a weak one, scooped up, and Bill Smith forces a face-off. We have a break in the action here. 4:24 left. The score, the Islanders 5, the Nordiques 2.
Yes. My company's operating balances don't earn a dime. What can the Bank of New York do for me?
Manage your money so it makes you money with new Check Invest.
I can't tie up operating funds.
No problem. Check Invest links a regular business checking account to a money market fund
So I earn money market interest?
automatically every day.
My bank doesn't have anything like Check Invest.
Does yours? Check Invest, the first business checking plan that manages your money so it makes you money. Only at the Bank of New York.
Islanders record 51 wins, 1 loss, 10 ties. That's at home versus teams that entered the NHL after them. This includes the 4 WHA graduates as well as Washington and the Kansas City or Colorado franchise, whichever. The 1 loss was to Edmonton last year in the quarterfinals. That gives the Islanders a percentage, a winning percentage over this stretch, 90%.
Well, you can't be any better. Well, maybe a little bit.
No, they only lost 1 game.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Now Trottier at center, fires one wide of Bouchard. Arian from back of the net up the left side for Goulet. Little over 4 minutes remaining to play. Goulet at the Islander line, can't get around Persson. Now makes the play, and it's intercepted by Dwayne Sutter. He had trouble handling it. Persson to Gillies. Gillies across the line, a quick shot off the stick of Therrien and up into the crowd.
Duck, everybody. That puck had smoke coming off the tail as Clark Gillies ripped a slap shot. It was deflected by Therrien.
Tell you what, if the broadcast team, the radio broadcast, had been in their old position, there would have been a scramble.
They'd have been eating microphones. Oh. That's where Barry Landers and John Potvin broadcast from up until the new press box was completed up over our heads. We have not graduated to that yet.
Oh, you say yet like there's a chance?
Oh, we're always working on it.
Oh boy, 18. Now Lane from the Quebec blue line. Around the boards, Trottier picks it up back in the net. Couldn't get it to Bourne. Moving out on this right wing side. Marion Stastny slipped in around Potvin. Marion Stastny goes back to the net, laid it out in front to the blue line for Pichette. His drive, a weak one. Smith smothers the puck and holds on. Now we have 3:32 remaining, and the Islanders, it appears, will take a 2-game lead in the series and move on to Quebec for Saturday night. We'll be with you on Channel 9 beginning at 9 o'clock Saturday and again on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, excuse me, 8 o'clock. They moved their clocks in Quebec.
Yeah, they're
Daylight saving time.
Eastern Standard Time, daylight saving.
Now Denny Potvin starting out. Up the left side, it goes to Bourne. Bourne into center ice, poked it loose. There's going to be a penalty call on the play. Potvin comes back to get it for the Islanders, and a whistle and an interference penalty.
Brian Trottier is going to get the gate. Interference.
This will only be the third power play of the night for Quebec, and it'll be their first one since 13:59 of the opening period. That's one of the keys, again, that we pointed out earlier. The Islanders have to stay away from foolish penalties. Quebec with an excellent power play. They have done it well as far as avoiding penalties here tonight.
I suppose if you're looking at it from the standpoint of the Quebec Nordiques, you look back at the last series they just played and defeated the Boston Bruins in 7 games. The Boston Bruins won the first 2 games from the Quebec Nordiques. If you're looking at it from the Islanders' standpoint, say they needed these 2 games, they need at least no worse than a split up in the Coliseum in Quebec City.
Now Persson golfs it out of his own zone. Carroll, Goring, Langevin, and Persson killing it off. The Nordiques using Paymont, Hickey, and Goulet as the forwards on their power play. Bichette is on the point. This is Pat Hickey shooting it into the Islanders' zone. Smith let it come off the boards. It's taken by Persson. Hickey tying him up in the corner. The puck came loose, and that's Goring shooting at the length of the ice.
Islanders penalty killing at home, 75 out of the last 86. 87.2% efficiency. That's the last 21 games at 14 regular season and 7 playoff games, including tonight. So far, we're right up to date. Everything's up to date in the Nassau Coliseum.
Buddy Cloutier going back into his own zone. Using the right side. That's Paymont with the puck. 1:10 left in the Quebec power play. Paymont across the line. Trying to cut around Morrow and couldn't. Paymont to Goulet. Goulet unable to center as Smith cleared it aside. Then Goulet lost his footing, and here comes Morrow. Kenny Morrow fires it down the ice. 55 seconds remaining in the penalty against Trottier. And a little more than 2 minutes left in the third period. 5-2, Islanders leading. Quebec on a power play, starting out of their own zone. Cloutier to Peter Stastny. Goring checked him. Butch Goring clears it off the skates of Therion, and the Nordiques are forced in deep. Billy Carroll, after getting a brief rest, has come out to join Goring on the penalty killing as Therion starts out. Slowed up by Billy Carroll, and now Goring came over to steal the puck, poked it in around Rochefort. Rochefort hustles after it. Carroll chases him back in the net, forced him to go wide, and Rochefort comes to center ice, left side, off the boards. This is Anton Stastny drilling the puck wide of the net. Peter Stastny to the blue line, broken up, but they held it in. Anton Stastny on the left side. Anton trying to make the play. Got it back to Rochefort. Trottier is out on the ice. The pass to Therion, stolen by Trottier, and here he comes. Ryan Trottier over the line. And slip it through to Billy Carroll. Bob Bourne back at center, hooked it to Potvin. The Islander captain takes a look, gave it to Morrow. We have exactly 1 minute to play. 5-2 Islanders, game 2. Potvin shoots it into the Quebec zone. And after tonight, the Islanders will be only 6 wins shy of their 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup. Quebec across the line. Basil McRae's shot went wide. Tonelli on the left wing side. Tied up on the boards. Kicked the puck loose out in front. Nystrom hammered McRae, and Langevin cleared it to the corner to Persson. Now to Langevin. Langevin pulls it away from McRae. And sticks come up as Langevin steps into a man. Nystrom was there, but it all started with Persson to begin with. And we'll get some penalties here as referee Ron Wicks directs traffic. 27 seconds. And you might imagine one guy who has been a little quiet until this final minute. Dale Hunter is going to the penalty box. Now he'll go to the dressing room instead. Persson heads down the runway toward the Islander dressing room as we watch Bob Nystrom.
In this game tonight, Quebec 0 for 3 on the power play. They're 1 for 7 in the 2 games to date. We look, the handheld camera taking a picture of Dale Hunter as he heads for the Quebec Nordique dressing room. The Islanders on their side, they're 1 for 5 tonight on the power play. They're 3 for 9 in the 2 games.
Major penalties for slashing, 5 minutes each, called at 19:33.
What happens a lot of times are threatening gestures, Jiggs. The game is over. On Quebec, it's frustration. It's retaliation on the side of the Islanders. Hunter taking a swipe at Stefan Pearson. Pearson wants to keep him at a distance, so he kind of swipes back. They were not trying to make contact with the sticks. That's a threatening gesture.
We have a correction now on the fourth Islander goal, the one scored by Bob Bourne, an assist to Dave Langevin instead of Bob Nystrom. So it reads Bourne from Merrick and Langevin at 3:46. I think all of us that have been involved with the game over the years are going to miss Ron Andrews.
Oh, wow.
Statistician with the National Hockey League forever. It seems he has certainly contributed a great deal to any of you fans that have ever read the National Hockey League Guide and the rest of the league publications. He is the man responsible for stats over the years. And
a masterful job. 1963, Ron Andrews started with the National Hockey League.
We wish him well. He's going into radio. Nystrom with the shot. Bouchard the save and held on. Face-off coming with 6 seconds left. But our best wishes, I know he can't hear us, but our sentiments certainly go with Ron Andrews of the National Hockey League office, who leaves his duties June 30th to join a radio station in Ottawa, Ontario.
There's the drop pass by Tonelli, a shot by Bob Nystrom, a hard one. John Tonelli coming out from the side of the net. You see him put his arm up. That's to shield himself from the goaltender, Bouchard. Bouchard doesn't see him. He puts his arm up just to fend himself off and regain his balance. Standing ovation by the fans here for their New York Islanders.
And the count down the clock now as the puck comes out on the right side. There's the horn, and the Islanders lead the series 2-0. Defeating the Nordiques tonight by a final of 5-2. A high five for goaltender Bill Smith. It was 1-1 at the end of the first. Islanders led it 3-2 at the end of the second and scored 2 more here in the third. Bourne and Nystrom, and defeat Quebec 5-2. We'll be back with a recap of the Budweiser Star of the Game selection following this message.